Guys, welcome back to another live stream here. It has been a little while. We've had some stuff going on here, but it's great to be back, and I hope that we can enjoy this evening together. And I think we're going to be doing something a little bit different today, and I'll go over that in just a minute. But again, I just want to thank you guys for being here. If you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you to click the subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you know when we are live. But nonetheless, guys, tonight we are going to be doing a couple of things here. Of course, if you'd like, you can send in your critiques, your tattoos that you do on fake skin, human skin that you would like me and Andy to look at and critique. Now, for the sake of time, we're going to get a little bit more to the point when it comes to critiquing your tattoos. You know, we want you guys to grow and get better. So it's going to be easier to just get in there and say, hey, look, the saturation's off, man. Yada, yada. It's coming from a place of love. We want to see you guys improve, go along. And I guess we're not really going to get there if we kind of baby it too much. So there's that. But the main thing I want to do tonight is I want to see your tattoos. As Smoke put it in the chat prior to now, he said, are you talking about, how did he put it? Anyhow, the ones you paid for, the ones you went to a shop to get, or I guess maybe if your uncle did it, whatever. But I want to see the tattoos you have that you went out, spent your hard-earned money on, got the tattoo. Let's send that in. Let's take a look at it. Tell us your story. Is it a funny story? Is it a sad story? Is it like, dude, I just thought this thing was cool. I got it. I love it. I thought this thing was cool. I got it. I hate it. This happened. I passed out. Blah, blah. Whatever it is, send it into us. If your story is crazy enough, well, don't make anything up. But if it's interesting enough and we need more information, I might even just send you a link to jump in, give you a few minutes to tell the actual story yourself. Not sure exactly yet, guys, but we'll see what happens. So if you have those, send those to the email scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That's artmesomething@gmail.com. Let us know. Share a little bit. I don't care if you tattoo. You never tattooed a day in your life. It doesn't matter. Live right now. Send your emails to the email scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Show us your tattoos. Tell us what's going on with them. I got Andy standing by to say hello. The man, the myth, the legend, Andy.
Hey.
Oh, boom.
I'm back. The annoying one is in the house.
Oh, he's so annoying.
That's it. As like to be called. I am the annoying. His usual comment is that he's annoying one. It must be accent. I tell you, it must be accent that's annoying.
I love the accent, man. I love the accent.
Well, it's like yours. I like your accent. I hate my own. I hate my own.
Isn't it weird?
I like your accent.
I don't even think I have an accent, but you probably don't think you have an accent either. So it's weird, isn't it?
Like I say, it's just proper weird. But yeah, like I said, it's been a while. It's been a while since we've gone live. This should be interesting. Like tattoos, people's tattoos, stories behind them. Yeah. As long as you've not done them yourself.
Yeah,
I got. Somebody's done them, or you paid to have them done.
Yes, sir. I mean, I got a few tattoos, and plenty that I've done myself. But there's a big one on my shoulder that I rarely notice. It's funny how you can have tattoos and then just never even notice them. I was thinking like, oh, I wonder if I can share one. I'm thinking, oh, I did that tattoo. This arm is kind of crazy, a mixture of other people's and my own. Then I was like, oh my gosh, I got this freaking ginormous koi fish over here that was a cover up done. I got a picture of it here, guys, just so I can share mine with you. And then feel free to share yours. Okay, so let me move some stuff around here so that I can zoom in on this photo. But yeah, so this is the koi fish. As you can kind of see what's going on in this video here, this picture. But it was a cover up. And I didn't know anything about cover-ups. I wasn't a tattoo artist at the time, none of it. So I went in there. Let me know in the chat if you have any idea what is behind this tattoo. I mean, I know you can kind of see it, but do you know what is behind it? Nothing. You get nothing if you get it right. But I am curious if you know. So I was in Florida at the time. I was, this was probably about 6-7 years ago. Probably more than that. I mean, I'm sorry, 10 or 11 years ago. And I was in the Marine Corps still, and I was taking another avionics class out in Florida. And me and a gunny decided to go get tattoos, of course, spur of the moment. Went into the shop. He got a giant one on his chest. I was like, yeah, let me get this tattoo covered up. I want a koi fish going upstream, representing the struggle. I just had my, daughter not that long before that. And they put her name up in the head of it. As you can see, it's almost unlegible. I do look forward to getting this redone. And I don't know what their mind was thinking when they said, yeah, let's do blues as these waves covering up these dark colors, right? So a lot of poor choices here. I wish I could tattoo myself. I would totally cover this, you know what I mean, and whatnot. Somebody said, gotta be a Dreamcatcher anime girl. Dreamcatcher is close. This was a cover-up of my very first tattoo. It was this little wolf with like a feather coming off of it. So I don't know if you can see my cursor. Yeah, you can. So the wolf is like right here, and this is like a feather coming off of it or whatever. It was some flash I gotten as soon as I turned 18. And I was like, I want to cover that up. And I wish I didn't, because I got that with my mom. It was kind of cool. But there I went and covered it up. You know what I mean? A little bad son. But no less, guys. That was it. It was great. The guy who tattooed me was awesome. Just a really good dude. I think he could tattoo well. I just don't think he made a really good decision here on how to cover this up and the colors to use. But nonetheless, this is on my right shoulder, right up here. And I do look forward to getting that fixed. But I had a really good time there. Guy was super cool. Yada, yada. So anyhow, Andy, that's my story. I'm just giving people a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
send anything into us.
At least you want an ex's name. You're not covering up an ex's name.
Right. I'd feel less bad though.
Yeah, that's favorite one in my shop. They come in. Can you cover this up? Yeah. What's that? Oh, it's an ex's name. You know what I mean? Well, it looks quite fresh. Yeah, it's only 9 months old.
Right.
Oh, it's not even 12. It's not even 12 months old. But like I said,
true love.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I say, I've got one on top of my arm there. I haven't even sent picture in because I didn't quite know how you were doing it. I hadn't sent picture in. But like I say,
let's see it, Andy. We're just giving everybody a little bit to send photos in if they'd like.
I don't know whether we can.
Here, I'm gonna make you big screen here.
Are you? Hold on, let me go back. I have got this one, which is a tiger's head, and that is 16, 17-year-old is that? That's the very first tattoo I ever got, and I got that the day I got engaged to wife. She got a ring, I got a tattoo. Basically, we were in some seaside town. I'd seen it. Went in. Can you do this? He went, yeah, I can. Sat down. I think it took him 3/4 of an hour, and he did it. And I paid him my money, and I come out. And then when I'd done that, I decided when I got home, I thought, I want some tribal around it. Went to another tattoo artist, and they complete and utterly screwed it up. He did it freehand. I let him do it freehand. And honestly, I'm same as you, Dave. If I could get in here and sort this out, because I mean, I don't know whether you can see. Look at this here. Look at this tribal here. It looks like a bloody top of a love heart bump and everything. And then goes down. What's this? What's this? And I have, like I said, I've got shite all over this arm. Roses with bits of barbed wire and all sorts, mate. I honestly tell you, all over that arm, Dave, there is total garbage. But I won't change it, mate. I honestly wouldn't. What's that? Super. But like I said, I won't change. I won't change it. I won't change it all. Could have thought I'd have it tidy.
Oops! Crap! Sorry,
hey,
Andy. I'm clicking the wrong buttons over here.
But like I said, I've got that. I won't. But it's all got a story behind it. I've got shite on that arm. It's all got a story behind it, and I won't change it.
Oh, absolutely.
I've got one outside of my leg. Daughter couldn't tattoo, but she's tattooed a name.
1 second.
She's tattooed a name on the side of my leg. Not particularly well. It could do with being gone over again, but like I say, but it's one of them things. It's faded out now, and it's all a bit depigmented. and everything. But first time she'd ever been in skin or anything, but she tattooed a name on the side of my leg, and it were like a bit like a banner, and the name's in the middle, but the letters aren't coloured in. Everything round it's coloured in. And that, but the letters aren't coloured in. But hey, it's all a learning curve.
I agree.
But they don't bother me. To be fair, Dave.
Yeah.
They don't bother me.
They don't bother me at all either, man. You forget. I think you truly just forget they're there. They just become a part of you, and you're like, oh yeah, I got that when I got married. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's I would like to, when I get to Texas, start working on getting this arm. I would love it to be full color. I'm gonna start with that koi fish, get that redone up. I got this like eagle bird thing I got here a long time ago. I'd like to get that maybe redone color and come up with a theme. I don't really care. I'm pale, so I need to put some color on. Just
before you crack on.
Yeah.
Last art bender question: why do some people love bug pin needles so much? Because the used right and used correctly, and especially with, shall we say, with shading, black and grey shading, on grey wash, it's so much, because the needles are smaller, which means they're together closer. They're closer together. That when they're putting it in the skin, the actual dots that they leave aren't as far apart. So in effect, by the time you're going through the same motions of going like this, and this, it naturally makes your work look smoother, because the needles are just so tighter together. But I'll be honest, I use bug pin for all my solid work as well. I do standard liners. I use bug pin mags all the way around, whether it's colour packing, grey wash. Well, I don't do so much grey wash work now, but it's true greys, real grey, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's why, basically. That is why.
Yeah, I would. Similar for me. I use a lot of bug pin, just and a lot of black and gray work as well. Mainly, that's why I started using bug pin. For me, it just left less drag marks, less needle marks, because again, the needles are closer together. If you're doing primarily color, like all the time, large areas, I mean, in that case, you would probably be better off potentially using standard 12 gauge needles, even a medium taper, if that's what you're doing most of the time. But for me, I just use bug pins all the time. I do large areas of color sometimes, and occasionally I will switch over to a standard 12 gauge needle grouping for that. But for some reason, I'm just so comfortable using bug pin magnums nowadays that they do what I want them to do, and I'm used to using them. But again, if you're just wanting to know basic facts of like, hey, what's best to do this, you could probably be better off if you're just saturating pure color. You could probably get away perfectly fine using a standard number 12 gauge needle groupings, and even like a medium taper, even make a bigger hole, more ink can go in, kind of a thing. But it's up to each person. I would definitely play around with it, because again, like I said, I like using the bug pins for everything, because just how I've gotten comfortable with it, and sometimes change is important. So maybe sometimes I should, monkey around. But all right. So again, tonight, before I start, open up the first email here. Remember, we are doing a mixture of things. If you want us to critique your tattoo, we can absolutely do that. We're going to be a little bit more blunt about it, just because we want you guys to grow, get better. And remember, we're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. No. We have the same mistakes, flaws we're giving you guys, but you guys are saying, hey, take a look at this. Tell me what I can do better. You could take a picture of your tattoo and send it to a friend who knows nothing about tattoos, and they could probably critique some stuff, okay? So it's not coming from a place of perfect or whatnot. It's coming from a place of another set of eyeballs, okay? The other thing tonight is I would love to see your tattoos. The tattoos you spent your hard-earned money on to get. You paid, got that tattoo done. I would love to see it and hear the story behind it. Good, bad, ugly, whatever the case may be. I love hearing tattoo stories. One of my favorite things. So I figured, you know what? Let's throw that in there tonight. So send those in. Email scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So, all right. Here we
One
go.
thing before we, like I said before, we jump in as well, and I know you've got them in there, but again, just to say, like you said, the guys in the chat, and the majority of the guys in chat, they've been on us now for weeks to be more harsh, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They've been asking for it.
They've been asking for it. They've been asking for more harsh. So here goes. We're going to get more harsh. But what we say, like Dave says, we're just two regular guys. You can find our work, you find faults with it. But you've asked to be more harsh and more nitpicky and more critical over what we're saying instead of trying to be as nice as what we have been doing. So look, we says we're going to do it, but please don't get all pissanty and butter about it if we do say stuff, because you have really asked for it, and we're only going to now supply what you've asked for. But what we're saying is, don't be going in comments after and saying you're a set of tossers, your work's shit. We know we do have problems in his own work, and that, but you've asked us to do this, so this is the route that we're going to take.
Yes, sir. And obviously, things will get more critiqued on human skin versus fake skin because there's just a level of boom. But hey, these are cool, man.
Yeah,
I like these. And Andy, again, I haven't delved deep into it or anything, but I really like how much open skin was left. I'm not very good at doing that at times, so I appreciate it when people are good at leaving some open skin and letting tattoos breathe. I think the only thing that's jumping out to me, and again, this is just one set of eyes, would be right here in the hand, like these three things going up. Kind of feels a little bit, I don't know, something in the hand there feels a little wonky.
There's no definition. It looks like, because there's two hands or two arms there, it looks like there's something not right. There's no definition in between the two. You know, it looks like one hand's here and maybe other hand's under there, you know, like that there type thing.
Oh, is there two hands there?
I'm not right sure. It looks as funky.
I think there's only one, but maybe there's two.
Or is that the palm of the hand? Just there,
that's
like
the palm,
that?
Yeah. That's
right.
They're
that's
doing
the palm of the hand.
Thing.
So really, this palm of this hand didn't need them striations up it. Didn't need them marks up it. It could have had some soft shading, but them lines that you've put in make it look like back of fingers. Make it look, to me,
right.
And it makes it confusing. The other thing I've got, you know, where the fingers are like that, and then you've got this finger that's lower down. You see this outer knuckle? You see how it's the finger indents in, but then you see how sharp the knuckle is on the back end. That would be softer. Fuck off.
I think I like the eyes seem fine. You know, there's nothing crazy about them bugging me at all. The hair looks like you spent good time, you know, giving it some shape or whatnot. A little odd how the ear is very hard lined here and then the hair going over it, but I guess that kind of works. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I kind of see that through there and it kind of feels a little bit odd. The hand, though, it kind of stops right here. That shading just sort of stops. And I know that you're probably looking at the reference and kind of seeing something like that, but it just got to smooth around. So right in here, it looks like, it's just off. And sometimes it's hard to figure it out. We all know hands are tough. Some of these tips aren't too bad, but.
No, you've got to take some artistic license. The bottom of the jaw, where it's smoothed in with the shading, is nice. I mean, this hair is black hair, and I'll be honest with you, they put the ear in behind it. You could have lost most of that ear. There was no need, you know, taking an artistic license. There's no need to have that in. And the top of the hair is feeling a bit better. The bottom of the hair, because that's like done with a mag and it's softer and it's flowy, where then it looks as like they've gone in with a liner to do a load of work, and it just throws it off. I mean, don't get me wrong, generally overlooking the piece when you come away from it looks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looks okay. It's when you get on top of it and you start getting super critical.
Yeah, it's right here though. Right here in this hand is, and I don't want to keep beating it up. He's probably watching like Mike's watching like, okay, I heard it 5 times, but just sending it home there. The face is nice and soft and open. Little light lines around the nose. You know, I guess that works. But you're right. You zoom out and it's not bad. Minus that the hand, and hands are hard. Yeah, okay. This is cool. I like that you're working on faces.
Yeah.
the lip feels a little like uniformed almost. It doesn't really quite. I'm not reading lip here, you know. It almost kind of has a similar texture to his mustache. That would be my, critique on that there. I'm sure he had like little cracks or creases in the lip, but I think you would have been better off using a smaller needle grouping to make those. Yeah, I think that would be about it on this one. It's in it's almost like its own little style kind of thing. So
I like the texture that he's got. I'll be honest with this one. I like the texture he's got in the beard. You know, it's giving it that bit of texture. As well, looking at it, the right hand side of the neck where he's got the bit of shading and everything, and you can see like the stretch crease, inside the neck, and that's good.
Yeah,
and that's like you say. I mean, it's just the lips. The lips do look off for some reason. I don't know whether, and I can't see because I haven't seen the reference, so they also look a bit weird and wonky. But that could be the reference. I'm just going on what I can see. But generally, for the face, it's softer, so it's not too bad. Again, when you zoom away from it, and probably where you're going to look at a tattoo from maybe 18 inch 2 foot, it's going to look fine.
Yeah. I like that they left it open. It's easier on the person too. You just got to make sure you get the features, the eyes and nose, as long as everything's there. The right amount of shading. The eyes can put together the rest, but not bad. Aha. All right. Again, it's like the faces and the hair. I'm digging them, man. I'm digging them. This nose, a little harsh line right there. And it only takes the little things to throw them off. This is the struggle and the fear when doing these. So the nose, that line right there, a little bit over here, maybe be a little more delicate with the needle choice you use. But again, I think we're dropping into this hand kind of throwing me off again. These fingers aren't too bad.
I sort of like read that hand a lot easier than the thing. I mean, and what I was going to say is the 3 pieces we've looked at, this looks like the last piece that they've done because they seem to have got better as they've gone along.
Right. Yeah.
The hair's done a lot better on this one. I love how it comes down. Left-hand side comes down and it's soft. Comes down this side, but then comes across the face and keeps soft. Same with the other side. The eyes, the eyebrows, the mouth with the teeth and everything. The fingers, the knuckles are a lot better, along with the fingernails and everything. The screen fingers, and that. But like I say, it's somebody saying, Mike Parrish, no pinky. There is a little pinky. It's there in front of you. She's like that. That's the pinky. Then you've got another one. Then you've got another one. Then you can just see the knuckle of the 4th finger, and then underneath there, the thumb's curled in.
Right.
The thumb's curled in. That's why it looks weird like that. She's sort of like that with thumb. You know what I mean? Or on the chin or whatever it is. I can't do a pose, but I like this piece. They seem to have got better as they've gone along, as if they've been learning. There's a lot less on this, but I do like the hair on this one. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think again, they're really nice pieces, man, and I love that if you want to do portraits or faces, you're taking your time, you're doing them on fake skin, man. Keep doing it because we've seen the progression along the way. Even the little details, the little stuff in the necklace or whatever this thing is coming around. The shading feels right. You're moving. Everything's feeling really good. There's just the little things, figuring out where do I put a line and where do I just shade off of something and whatnot. That's all. But you're doing it in the right place.
Yep.
Fake skin. Thank you for sending those in, Michael. Next we got Jason. All right forearm, then left forearm with 2 picks and a pick of both together. I know there may be some spots to be gone over. He had scars. Okay, so he had scars on his arms. So let's see which one. I guess we'll kind of scroll through them and then we'll end on the final one. We'll just kind of take a look here. So overall, Jason, just so we can be aware, you have come a long way, man, and I definitely see a lot of progression in the work. and you're letting your client know, this person know, like where you're at, you're learning, this is what I want to do. You know, you're setting the stage properly for the situation that you're in. And so I'm just going to scroll through here and we can kind of soak them up a little bit.
Yeah, that's a bit better angle, is that picture, than the first one. I mean, off the bat, depending on which picture you're looking at, some of the saturation looks pretty bulletproof. Some of it looks a little bit weak in places, like here, we're looking here, left versus right.
Healed versus fresh, I do believe. Like this one's healing, I think, and that one's fresh.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking a bit light, but then again, it's healing. Like that picture there. I mean, if you look at this picture here that you've got up now, Dave, and you zoom in a little bit, saturation looks good. The black saturation looks good on it to me. The darker blue looks good. The lighter blue looks good. What I do see, Jason, is that, and again, there's still some inconsistency, shall I say, with your line weight. Not your line weight. E.g., if you're pulling a line and you're using a 9-round liner, Jason, and that, make sure that you keep the even pressure, the even speed, the even flow, that your line thickness that you're producing with that 9-round liner is the same all the way around. I can see some that are slightly fatter, some that are slightly thinner. But as Dave says, what I am going to say, Jason, you have come a long, long way from when we first started seeing your work. And that, forgot to give you that soft for. That
for sure.
Yeah.
So for me, Andy, I'm going to agree with you, Jason. There's areas here that are relatively saturated. Again, your black's solid. Light blues can be tricky. They really can. The skin starts to get red back there, and you kind of have to trust the system. But there are some lighter spots throughout here, and that is the trick to light colors, is taking your time and really, really saturating. I can tell you did take your time, but the saturation, some of these tones, I know can be a little bit richer. My question is, and I'm not sure if it was intentional, are these colors supposed to blend together, or are they supposed to be a hard cutoff like this? Because I wouldn't personally consider this to be a blend. So if you were trying to do a blend, it's not enough. You need to bring this darker blue up more. If you wanted it to blend right here, you need to whip this blue up more. There needs to be more of a joining of two colors, if you will, right? So we're going to bring this one up further, bring this one down, and leaving a light spot in between so they can kind of blend together a bit more. You need more of a gradation there. This is kind of a harsh cutoff. So we got this dark blue, and into that light blue, it's just so subtle, and into here, so subtle. They wanted it like that. Okay, then. Well, all right, then. That's what they wanted. Then if that was the case, then we're just going to be talking about saturation. You can kind of see it throughout here. But it is a serious improvement. Now, again, when we come to the line weight here, you could tell where sometimes, a line didn't go in all the way. It wasn't exactly, so you had to double bang that line. And there is an art form, a skill to getting comfortable at hitting the same line and not getting slightly off so the line's thicker, slightly deeper so the line's thicker. I'm not perfect at it by any stretch of the imagination, but this is a lot of lines, a lot of curves. So good job on that. But again, try to keep an eye on how thick the lines are getting. Yeah.
It's consistency more than anything on this one, isn't it, Dave? For me, it's consistency. Although, I mean, there's one little spot which is really, really weird for me. If you scroll to the top of it, because you see how it's all flowing and sweepy and everything.
Yeah.
We've just got a piece at top there, top right corner. It comes down, and we've got a right angle corner on it. No, just bring cursor to the left. Bring it down a little bit now, Dave. Just a little bit to your right. A little bit, just a little bit more there. That angle there, as it comes over top of that flame, to that point there, just as it comes over top of that flame, would if that had just swept around instead of having that silly little, swoop in and then swoop out, or if you'd have brought it a bit further into the middle and then back out, but that's just a design element. That's not just. I'm not just on about the, shall we say, the technical application.
Right.
The main thing on the technical application is your consistency on your lines and your line weights. Needs work. Needs a little bit of work. And when I say work, it's just basically keeping an eye on it and noticing what's going on with your eyes. And if you're running a thicker line, Jason, fair enough, but make sure you run a thicker line on everything, unless it's intentional, because like Dave was saying, in that middle, the line weight on that little bit in the middle is not the same as some of the other line weights and that. And this is what's going to falter, mate. It's really going to falter. And as you go along, people are going to pick up on it. Clients are going to pick up on it. And then they're going to come back to you saying this, that, and other. They usually do later on time when they've had time to study their own tattoo. But end of the day, I'm not going to take anything away from you. You have come such a long way from when we see you started tattooing, man. It's unbelievable. It honestly is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So
the other thing, Jason, too, though, is, and I'm just going to use this as an example because I struggled with this, and it's still not saying it couldn't happen tomorrow. Right here is a prime example of, you know, either you came down this way, boom, stopped, came back around, they didn't meet up. This is that moment where you realize you're off of your line or whatnot. And the most important thing is that you bring those together, right? Or you come back through and try to taper that down a little bit, blend that in. But that is where those two lines kind of didn't quite touch. They missed. It's those little things that if you can see them ahead of time and go, well, if I follow this line and follow my stencil this time, they're not going to match. So I got to veer off slightly to meet that line or whatever the case may be. Again, we just want to see you continue to grow, Jason, continue to develop, man.
Yeah.
So we're not going to, you know what I mean? You know, it's all coming from a place of love and we all make mistakes, but saturating these light blues is no easy thing to do. And you've done it pretty well. But again, you see how right here we got this this darker area and this lighter area. So that's a bit more saturated. This is a bit more lighter. Got a little saturated area there. So there's levels of saturation. It can kind of be mediocrely saturated, and then it can be saturated. You're really trying to go for that deep saturation.
Yeah, it's. But again, it's like we said, it's. You've got to make mistakes to learn. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise you'll have nothing, you know, to reference off. You know, if you thought you were doing it right, that's what these are. I mean, it's like I say. I mean, what I would say is that one on the left though looks like it's healing out very, very light.
It is, and you can start to see and take this as a learning thing. I would really hone in on see what's going on with the lines, right? So over here, when it's fresh, you kind of get away with a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like you can see them, but the spots where you were a little bit slower and the ink saturated a little bit more, where you came out of the skin a little bit more, where you picked up and put down, they're not quite as visible sometimes in a fresh tattoo. But as they heal, you can start to see a little bit more of those where maybe you started the line and kind of faded up and around or whatnot. So really take your own time, diagnose this, try to think, hey, what did I do here? How can I make sure that my lines are smooth, consistent throughout? And that might be even just using a bigger liner, you know, or a round shader or something that's going to give you a little more stability. I would encourage you to try out 5-round shaders, man. They're pretty good. You lay them in, move, get comfortable, but it's a getting comfortable thing. You know what I mean? You're going to have a few tattoos to get that. So nonetheless, man, just keep learning from your own work sometimes. And Jason, as always, thank you for sending that in and letting us take a look at it and give you our 2 pennies of information. Irish Grip, what's up, man? I'm officially a regular. I like it. I like it. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, I think we got a story. My tattoo, Perry Hennepin.
Oh, it's Perry, isn't it?
Yeah, Perry.
Yeah, he sent a picture and you remember him when he gritting on some out when he sent his mugshot in with the rest of them.
Let's see. He says, "Hey, Andy and Dave, I used to be in rock band in my 20s, right on, and made some brothers for life in my band mates. So bandmates, brothers for life in your 20s, rocking out in a band. That's dope. About 7 years ago, our drummer killed himself after suffering with mental health. So I decided to get a replica of his first tattoo. Man, I'm getting goosebumps reading this. Skull and drumsticks. Dude, that's awesome. And I'm really sorry to hear about your friend.
Yeah.
I only got round to getting this done last year on my honeymoon." Reminds me of Andy getting tattooed on his the day you proposed to your wife?
Yeah, that's it.
Which happened to be on a cruise ship. You got this tattoo on a cruise ship on your honeymoon. On a cruise ship on your okay. I just got to make sure my brain's wrapping around this. The artist that did it has been on TV and tattooed a few famous people. Righteous. Well, you're one of them. I nearly shit myself when she told me she charged $350 an hour. Hey, man, some people are doing all right. Yeah. Nothing was going to stop me getting this one done, though. And it's only palm size, so I thought it was worth it. Took her 2.5 hours in the end, and our honeymoon fund was a lot lighter as a result. Still love it, though, and wouldn't change it for the world. Rest in peace, little drummer boy. Respect. Oh. So 2.5 hours, looking at what,
825 quid.
Yeah, let's say under $900. Hey, but you got that for life. You were gonna look down at that tattoo and remember your honeymoon, the cruise, your brother. There it is. Oh yeah, I do remember now for sure. Nice.
You see, that was one good thing about doing to meet the subscriber and the faces when they send pictures in like this. You know exactly who you're talking to.
I love it, man. I feel like we're really getting to know people, especially for, like you said, from the meet the subscriber to people sending us in, them actually getting the tattoo and the tattoo and the story of the tattoo. Now we know our brother here was in a rock band in his 20s. Making good life decisions.
He's not looking as angry on that photo as he did when he sent for mugshot, if you remember.
Well, he's got 3 women right here in the room. You know what I mean? Look at that. He is mugging. All right. I love this chair, by the way. That chair looks pretty sweet. I like it. Oh, yeah. Nice tattoo. Clean. Represents a lot. I like the style. It's a good tattoo, man. It's a good tattoo. And you got it on a cruise ship.
I'll tell you what, it can't have been, must have been calm that day because lines are okay out there. Just imagine doing it on a cruise ship and got bad seas.
That's why she had to charge a little extra for the constant. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. I like it. I like the style of it. Good texture. Didn't overuse white. I bet this is still solid today. Nice.
All good.
Perry, you got tattooed by a famous tattoo artist or a tattoo artist that tattooed some famous people. Right on, man. Couldn't
feel the ship move at all. On his honeymoon, and he couldn't make ship move. Oh, my God. You just let the side down, Perry. You're just saying that you were on your honeymoon, you were on a ship, and you couldn't make it move for your wife. Oh, my God. Has she divorced you now?
Oh, no. Look at this has got to be quite the niche thing to be in, a tattoo artist on a cruise ship. I mean, I think you could definitely charge a nice premium price being on a cruise ship. You know, I mean, that's like paying for drinks or something on a cruise, or paying for drinks at a ball game or something. You know, it's just there's like a tax that goes along with getting it done in a specific place. This guy back here's got some tattoos. Boy, yeah.
Either that or what I should have done, he should have gone all inclusive. He might have got it all included in price of his holiday.
Oh, maybe. But hey, great representation. Yeah. Great memory. Cool. Perry, thanks, man. Appreciate we got nice. Jason coming in. Oh, we got some tattoos here. This tattoo was done in 2018 by a good buddy of ours that owns his own shop. It was an anniversary present to both of us for our 12 years. So it was 12 years in 2018. That's right, man. You guys have been going strong. Mary came up with the idea, and our Libra sign split onto both of us and included our month, October, and days. All right. Got some memory.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Oh man, I quite like that.
I like this.
Yeah, that I've not. I think it's cool because I don't really see a lot of these like combined. If anything, they're like a line or a thing. But this is really nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Dude, this is cool, man. I love seeing people's tattoos.
It's better than what I've got on my shit
Nice
shoulder.
Hey, we got a new photo of Jason.
That's it.
That's right, man. Look at that beard. Look at that beard.
But I mean, it's a nice piece, and when it's put together like that, it does make a nice piece, doesn't it?
That is cool. Yeah, you can see the dates here. I think 2001. Right on, man. That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah, I like
Nice
that.
work.
That's nice. That's nice. Is that one?
It is.
Nice present as well.
Just a reminder, guys, what we're doing tonight, in case anybody's just jumped in or whatever. If you have a tattoo that you had done anywhere, preferably one that you paid your hard-earned money for, and you want to send that in and tell us the story behind it, we would love to hear it. It's just a way to get to know you guys more, have a little fun, share our tattoo stories with each other. And if you have a tattoo you would like us to critique, you can also send that in. And that is at the email scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And once we run out of emails or whatnot, then me and Andy are just going to BS for a little while. If you got any questions, we'll take them then. But Therapeutic, what's up, man? Hey, guys, just a little banger I did recently. Yeah, man, I saw this one. I did see this one. Yeah, I like the bold lines he used. Bold lines. I dig that. It's a simplistic piece, but I think it turned out pretty decent. As far as the circle goes, it looks pretty good. You can tell where you picked up and put down a couple lines here, but it kind of, I don't know, and it kind of fits that style of not being.
It is. I don't think it's meant to be a perfect circle.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it's meant to be more like a squashed pumpkin, I think.
Yeah.
Type thing is this.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty cool for what it is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's simplistic. It's to the point.
Yeah, he didn't overdo it. You know what I mean?
No.
Put some almost like some stipples or maybe just straight dots here and there to just kind of give it some texture or whatnot. It's a little bit of shading, but yeah, nice. Them lines is solid. Jason says. He says, I like that. Smoke says, I washed it. Okay, it squashed. Oh, it was squashed on purpose. A lot of pickups, though. Now, I get it, man. Sometimes you're just trying to work that circle or even that squashed pumpkin or squashed circle or whatever, you know, and I think you did all right, man. You did all right. Circles are just the scariest things sometimes.
Circles, boom, mind-blowing. And even worse than circles, concentric circles. Oh, my God. Parallel lines, concentric circles. Oh, my God. It's like, boom.
Yeah. I do think maybe just for the sake of it, man, I think it's a solid little piece. The imperfections almost add to like the sort of roughness of it, so it's kind of cool. I would say the only thing it would be just maybe trying to get a little bit more saturation in some of this black, but it's hard to say. You'll know when it heals for sure if it was. Yeah,
the apostrophe between the Kings and the S, it looks quite. Shall we say? It looks like it quite patchy, as if it's got a bit of an holiday in it. But then again, I'm also looking at I'm looking at the Kings where how he's written the Kings, and if you look at the top of every single letter, it has like a lighter patch, as if it's left on purpose, if it's supposed to like curl over. So I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the thinking behind it.
Right. I'm just gonna let the Kanuki Gold. Hey, even if you already submitted something for a critique, you can still submit another email with your tattoo or tattoos and a story to go along with them. And totally. And we're zoomed in pretty far, guys. I do not like to zoom in too far. I like keep it realistic, you know, because again, you can zoom in so far on every single tattoo of anybody's into where it's so unrealistic, you know.
The thing is as well, you could take what looks to be a perfect line, blow it up, have a picture this big, blow it up onto a 60-inch, 40-inch TV, but because your TV is made up of pixels and squares and God knows what, the further you blow it up, the worse that line's going to look anyway, but in the skin it can look perfect. So you've got to take that factor in as well.
It's very true. It's very true. All right. Looks like we got a tattoo submission that somebody had done. So this is from Adrian. Okay, sorry. I got it done when I was stationed in Alaska. The tattoo artist name is Jeremy Dowdy. It's a representation of the End Justice for All Metallica album. Oh, okay. It's representation of and Justice for All Metallica. All right, right on. Got it in Alaska. Right on. Ooh. Oh man, that is sweet. Look at that. This person did a really nice job of like capping that shoulder and that piece, having it run down. Look at those hands. Not bad. The pinky look.
I'm looking at that chain.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm looking at his done chain. Totally lineless. It's just back shaded around outside and in between. And that and the lips. I'm liking the lips. He's done it. It's got the little like wrinkles, indentations in the lips. The nose is slick. It really is slick.
This looks healed. Like the grays are grays. Like this looks healed. So I mean, this is even.
If you're sending it in for us to look at, it maybe we never know. I mean, it could be 6 months, 12 months. It could be 3 years old. It could be 5 years old. We just don't know. The bit of barbed wire, the bit of negative space barbed wire type thing that runs through it. That's a nice touch.
That barbed wire kind of thing. Yeah. It's I like the use, and again, I love this kind of stuff, and I want to add more of it into my own work, but sometimes I overthink stuff too much sometimes, or vice versa. But I like how they've left open areas, like the hand there's not a ton of detail back here. Yeah. It's nice up front. This finger is really readable and nice. That nail comes out to leave this solid black right next to this open area. Just a slick tattoo. The thing
with Andrews, the more detail and the more shading you put in, the older and the more wizened and more hard works they start to look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a female's hand and a young female at that. So you're generally going to be a lot softer, a lot smoother than a man's hand that's been outside working on a building site. You know what I mean? So
I'm with you though, Andy. The best part is that chain. That chain looks so nice. Real nice. Wow. Adrian, thank you for letting us check out this piece you got in Alaska and the representation for, Justice for All American album, Metallica album. I like it.
Bradley Pritchard.
Bradley, what's going on, man? All right, let's see. Bradley says, what's up, guys? These are probably my 2 favorite tattoos that I have. I figure I'd throw one in with my face since I miss Meet the Subscriber, LOL. I like it, dude. My initials on my arm was my very first tattoo at 15 years old. Right on. I went into a shop with my brother's idea, but they never even bothered to ask for it. Are you serious? And it was all downhill from there. I'm assuming downhill is that you got hooked. The tattoo bug bit you. The other is on my forearm and is my most recent tattoo. I got it after my daughter was born. Congratulations. It's a dad holding his child and showing her just how beautiful the universe can be and that her opportunities are endless, man. Congratulations. I don't know how long you've had your daughter for, but you said that's the most recent tattoo. I'm assuming she's newish. Congratulations, man. So we're going to look at the initials on your arms first. I think it's this one. Wait. Yeah, okay, initials. Okay. Hey, that's not bad. All right, let's take a look at our man. Yeah, buddy. Andy. I don't know what we consider this. He's got a little bit of hair growing here, a little bit of mustache. Is that beard squad or not?
No. If he were to stick his head out a car window to blow off with that, you know what I mean? That's neither nor in that. It's just a bit of man fluff.
Okay, so he's leaning on your side of the
He's leaning to more clean shaven because one good gust of wind that'd go. One good gust of wind.
All right. Well, Bradley, you're gonna have to pick a team at this rate, okay? We can see another photo in a month or two, and we're gonna see whether are we still the same or growing a little bit,
He's either rocking or he ain't, but like I said, this little bit over the top and round here, that's it. One good gust of wind, it's gone. Boom. So he's on clean shaven side. Oh,
man. My dad used to say that, Smoke said, my dad used to say that about sticking your head out the window.
He says, laugh my ass off. He says, I've got a mustache and a goatee now.
Oh, okay. All right. That's Beard Squad right there. Hey, this looks like a well-done tattoo. This is a very clean-looking tattoo. Color saturated well. The initials are in there, man. It's like a little negative cloud around it. Right on, man. You could definitely add to this tattoo over time.
Yeah, little sticker stampy type tattoo. It looks like it's been there a little while. And it's aging well. Looks well. Good use of colours.
For being 15 years old, you didn't make a stupid choice. You had your own initials.
Yeah.
You didn't get a girlfriend's initials or something.
That's it. He's 13 years old.
Yeah, he was 15 when he got it. So, yeah, it's 13 years old. It's looking really good for 13 years. It's clean. I dig it, man. Good choice. He's got a bunch of tattoos going on over here, I think. Let's take a look. Bam. All right. Dude, galaxies. I don't do a lot of galaxies. This looks like a fun tattoo, man. Really cool. You can definitely build off this quite a bit. I don't think they meant for it just to be fully black in here either. You got it kind of whips out to a gray and then get a little highlight around the outside. Right on. We got some trees in the background. Nice, man. Nice. Some white stars. I like it. I like the color choices there. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, galaxies aren't the easiest things to pull off. What I mean? Yeah. And that I met look right. It's a nice tattoo. I won't say per se it's my personal choice, but it's a nice tattoo. I do like the planet, the bright orange and the yellow. Yeah. Within that planet, that's really bright. Really sets off, the middle of it.
Yeah, and it pops from that dark black behind it, and the purples and the blues and stuff. So, yeah, cool. Nice piece, man. Definitely a ton of room to build off that, add on that, keep going from there. Right on, Bradley. Thanks, dude. Congrats on the daughter.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing your face. Look at this.
Yeah, but Dave's chuffed now that you're rocking a tash and a goatee on his side.
You get stamped Beard Squad.
That's it.
One of these days, someday we'll get T-shirts, send them out to the 30 of us that are always here. Minus like Andy and like 5 other people, but we'll get this smooth face squad. Smoke. Okay, here we go. Hi guys. The story with the Killswitch Engage tattoo is basically I just started listening to them about 20 years ago. Just started about 20 years ago. Our neighbor in our building was getting married. How come all these tattoos have something to do with getting married? Andy got married. He was getting a honeymoon. Yep. Everything's around some sort of marriage. I like this. Okay. So they're getting married. Your neighbors getting married. You didn't know. So we didn't know. We heard someone yelling threats and kicking the neighbor's door. We thought it was some asshole. So I went out into the hall and told the group of guys to get the F out of here or there would be trouble. My man Smoke, man, not busting open the door, not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it, man. I'm just not doing it. I'm trying to tattoo over here. We thought they were drug dealers or something. Turns out it was Killswitch Engage doing a phony kidnapping on their friend bachelor party who was our neighbor getting married. What, dude? Oh my gosh, what a story. Dang, let me read that again. We thought they were drug dealers or something. Turns out it was Killswitch Engage doing a phony kidnapping on their friend bachelor party who was our neighbor getting married. They sent us an apology note for scaring our kid, telling us what happened, and that they were Killswitch Engage. We went to see them twice since then, and the guitar player recognized me and nodded at me in the crowd. My favorite band, favorite album. Dude, that is a freaking sweet story, man. Oh yeah, let's take a look at that, dude. This is awesome. Yes, dude. I just love everything that's going on in this tattoo. Oh man, black is solid, white, red. Oh yeah, dude. This is cool. I saw this when he sent in the meet the subscriber photo, and we saw it on his arm. That's why in the chat I was like, Smoke, you got to send in a couple of those tattoos, man. Oh yeah, that is cool, dude. I dig it. I like it. And this is obviously wasn't done yesterday. This is healed, living in the skin. It's looking good. I dig it. How long did that take? Smoke, how long did that tattoo take? I'm curious. You want to throw that in chat? Check it out. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, Andy, you did a tattoo very similar to this, man. I like these.
Very, very similar to this. And we all know that Smoke's a big gaming addict. He's even got his son in a games room, hasn't he? And
that's right.
I think is it games room. He's got a little tattooing corner in his games room, if I remember rightly, or something. But yeah, it's nice. I love the PlayStation.
The black next to those colors.
Yeah,
really pops them. 2 sessions, about 5 hours for the Killswitch Engage. Right on, man. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
2 sessions, broke it up. I like it. Solid, man. This is super fun. This is a great. I think it's on a forearm. It's like the perfect forearm tattoo right there, size and whatnot. Yeah, I dig it. Colors seem to have held up well. They blended out nicely. Banging, dude. Thanks, Smoke, for sending that in and for sharing the killer story, dude. Not all stories are that wild, so it was fun to.
No, but they are what they are.
It's like 5 years old. Right on.
I'm just going to nip to the toilet there. Let me just use the bathroom.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, guys, if you're watching and whoa, that got loud. And you haven't given the stream a like, hey, man, hook it up with a like. I greatly appreciate it. And again, I'm just going to wait on Andy before we jump to the next one. But again, I just want to say thank you to everybody that shows up here I say every Sunday, but I'm not here every Sunday. As often as I can be, I will be here. I thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy it more so than anything, not how many people are here, but how much we're getting to know you guys. And create a little bit more community here, seeing you guys' faces, seeing your tattoos, hearing the stories about them. Man, it's really, really cool. It brings a lot of joy to me. So I just want to say thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to continuing different things so we can, get to know you guys more. But again, if you want us to critique your work, feel free to send that in as well. It's just kind of a nice little balance here. The wife had to write it, or the story might have been totally different or non-comprehensive. Oh man, shout out to the wives out there who are freaking rocking it. Man, without my wife, I'd be in trouble, guys. Straight up in trouble. It's just so much to support me and beyond. So again, shout out to all the wives, all the spouses in general. It's really hard to do anything in this field if you don't have somebody supporting you, somebody behind you, being truthful with you at times, looking at your work. I don't know if she is. I really have no idea. She's not been in the chat. Bradley, he's like, oh, he's talking really nice to her. He must be in trouble. Oh, she is. Oh, dang it. Dang it. No, there's nothing wrong with that. You never want anyhow, blah, blah, blah. I love you too, dear. But nonetheless, guys, while I'm killing time here, waiting for Andy to get back before we look at the next email, just reiterating, you got to have a good support system in place. You got to have supportive wife, supportive spouse, because there's going to be ups and downs. It's a mental game too, probably like any career, but in tattooing, sometimes you live off your last tattoo emotionally or an experience that happened in your last session. So you got to have that balance, in my opinion. So nonetheless, much respect. Let your wives know, spouses know you appreciate them. So what's been going on in the chat? Get them brownie points. Yeah, right. I really didn't know she was watching either. So that's like double points. I should get double points. If it was a sim game, I'd have the little points above my head. I'd be keeping track. What do we got here? Jason says, same Smoke. My wife did the same, Dave. Yeah. My wife's been truly supportive of all of this. I mean, really just, I wouldn't have done it without her support. I really wouldn't have. She gave me the go ahead to pursue this sort of thing, and had faith in me. And if your spouse is in this position, you see something in them, give them a chance. Okay. I waited for you, Andy.
Did you?
Filled some space.
Oh,
And we're about to jump into Josh's email here. All right. Josh Willis says, yo, how's it going? So I'm using the Bronc V2 right now. Love it. And I use CNC police cartridges. I really like it, but the battery doesn't last for some reason. Have you ever used the Ambition Soldier wireless machine, or what machine would you recommend? I'll answer real quick, Andy, and then I'll let you go ahead. Mine's real quick. I have no experience with the Ambition Soldier wireless. Also, I don't know. I have used a couple Broncs, but I'm not sure exactly. Can't remember them, to be fair. So what machine would you recommend, Andy? I know it's a good one and affordable.
I'm leaning. I haven't a thing with the Ambition Soldier. I mean, for three and a half years, 4 years, I was using the Arena Air Power. That was a phenomenal machine. Still is. Runs great. You get 2 proprietary batteries, 10, 12 hours out of each battery, no problem. Direct drive, 3.5mm stroke. Beauty. I've just recently gone, and we all know, I've just recently purchased originally I purchased it for shits and giggles, the Ambition Torqued, and oh my God, I use it every day to the point that I'd be pissed if it broke. If it broke and I had to go back to my own machine, I'd be pissed. And I won't care. I've just said to you, Dave, as well, as that I was a bit bored and a bit quiet on Friday, and I was smurfing around, and I went onto Ambition's website, just put Ambition tattoo supplies in Google. It'll take you to their site. They're now offering the Torqued with the 3 cams and 2 batteries.
That's crazy.
For $124. $124. So that's about 100 and it's about 100. It's about 100 British pounds. $124. It's a brushless motor, direct drive. You can strip it apart.
Oh man.
Clean it.
It's crazy.
And it comes with 2 of them quiet batteries.
Yeah, and look, I know we said this before. Per Andy's suggestion, I needed to get some few extra batteries, a couple backup batteries or whatnot. And my critical, one of them was dying, whatever. So I bought 2 torque. What are they called? Quark batteries from Ambition. They were $60 a piece. They ordered 2 of them. They were $120. So in this current deal that they have on the website, 2 batteries, which I paid $120 for, and the machine for $125. It's like it's like buying 2 batteries and getting a machine for free with the cams. It's insane. And to hear all these good stories from everybody about the machine. I don't use that machine because I have a 4.5 stroke machine or 4.2 stroke machine that does the same thing. But if I didn't, I would own that one. But I do use the batteries and love them. They're great. I've never had one die on me yet. As long as they're fully charged, they'll go all day.
Yeah, as long as they're fully charged. I've run mine all day, 5 hours, and I've still got half battery left. And it's like this, the machine, it just never misses a beat. It just, like I say, and it's a brushless motor. It's not even a coreless. It's a straight up brushless motor. Honestly, it's tiny. You get them little quiet battery on the back of it, and it's really short. I think it's 5 inches in total, with the battery.
Right.
And so it's not back heavy. You know what I mean? It's not back heavy in your hand or anything. The only downside to it, and that's on the battery, is like you said, Dave. If you switch the battery off if you're running at 7.2 volts and your battery switches off, if you put your machine down and your battery switches off, or it goes into sleep mode, when you put it back on, it will start at 8 volts. Right. It doesn't revert back to the initial. But if you're just using one machine, and adjusting and just changing out all the time, I don't really have that problem.
Yeah, no, and for the money, I mean, it's a very minimal thing.
It's for the money, it's minuscule.
It's
a minor inconvenience, and I only come across it when I stop for a break. You know, if I stop for a break and I switch machine off, when I go back, I'll just switch it on, and I've got to go back to 7.2 volts, 7.5 volts, or whatever it is that I'm using. I've got mine set up with 4.5 millimeter cam. I shade, I pack, I line, everything. Hasn't missed a beat. Boom, you know, and bang for bucks. And how long have I had it now, Dave? About 3 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, about 3 months, and I use it every single day in a studio environment, on every single tattoo. And that's 3 months, still going strong, still bits of big. I clean it obviously clean it after every tattoo, but I service it regularly, e.g. whip motor out of it, you know, clean out plungers and everything, put a little bit of lube back on plunger, put it back together. I just keep on top of it, and but it takes minutes to do because it's such a simplistic, easy to do.
Right on. All right, let's take a look, Josh, at your pieces you have here on fake skin. So that's good. This looks like you're using Real Skin, the brand Real Skin. And overall, it looks pretty good. Some of these lines look really nice. Like some of these this bit right here. Some of these down here look pretty nice. But then there's also the spots where you can really having a hard time maybe getting these curves in, because there is a skill set that you learn when it comes to connecting two lines together. And that's something you're best to just practice, like right here. It seems to be that would be an issue here that you're having the most, I'd say, here is when you're doing these longer lines and you got to pick up and put down or connect. And so you see that a lot here. And that's something you can practice. And the best way to practice would be maybe even stencil something like that several times, lay it down, and get comfortable figuring out how to curve around that line, swoop out, and then come back in either the opposite direction and get comfortable figuring out how to connect them smoothly, or figuring out how to taper. You kind of like come in like an airplane from back, boom, and take off. Because if you drop in, let's say right here on this line, it's probably going to be a little bit more solid right here because you ended right there harshly and you're going to pick up there harshly. So looking at this piece, my biggest bit of information I think you can take away from here is to practice connecting lines, picking up and putting down connecting lines. It's definitely going to benefit you in the long run for sure. So that would be that one, man. Other than that, and again, you see it here in the circle here where we're missing some pickups here and whatnot. But around the teeth and stuff, a lot of this is not bad. Up through here, not bad.
Like end at cigarette, there's a few pickups and put down.
Yeah.
If it were like that, I'd have probably either tried to sculpt it into something, or even you could have got away with running slightly fatter just around the bottom, you know, so far around the bottom to give it that little bit of depth into it. I mean, but again, I mean, looking over eyebrows, looking out at the style that's done over top of head, and the nose and the teeth, and everything, it's not too bad. The smoke that's coming off the cigarette, the line work on the smoke that's coming off the cigarette going up, it's not too good, I'll be honest. It's a bit patchy, a bit messy, you know. You see, it's not very fluid. You know, you think with smoke, it's quite flowy because it's a bit choppy. It's quite choppy. Is that couple of saturation issues now you've got in that close, Dave? Like that right hand eyebrow as it goes up, you can see holidays in black and everything that needed a little bit more time. Slow down, a little bit more time punching in. Under eye, that thicker line under eye, that's not in very well at all. In that needed a bit more. I need to be a little bit slower, work that inking through there. But on a whole, I would say 80% of it's not bad at all.
Yep.
It's just areas that you just got to look at, tweak, and go for. This one looks very muddy.
Yeah, this one's very muddy. You know, there are some of these lines that are looking okay. But the problem you run into is mixing that black right in with that yellow or whatever it is you got going on here. It's just, it comes across muddy. I don't know if you're trying to just, I don't know. It's an odd, I'm not sure exactly. It's just yellow right over top of maybe a gray wash causing this muddy look. But unfortunately, it's just not reading very well. It looks kind of has that sort of unfinished, grungy sort of look to it. I don't know that that was intentional. And if you're going to put the black all the way up to it, you know, you really want to make sure you get the black all the way up to the line there. And I would encourage you to maybe use different colors to get the shading on this yellow. Using the black with the yellow doesn't always come across, you know, clean. It comes across a bit muddy if you're not really familiar with how to make these things work out. So definitely try using some different colors, browns, whatever the case may be, to give you the depth you're looking for in this hoodie, if you will.
Yeah, try not to use black in your colours unless you're specifically going for a specific tone or type of colour. If you're going to tint and tone your colours, use a darker colour. You know what I mean? It's like Dave says, a dark brown with a really dark brown with a yellow would take it down, you know, to where you want to be, because your blacks and greys just turn it muddy. I'll tell you what though, what I am looking at, and one thing that does stand out to me on this one, I'm looking on how clean the line work is around that hand. And how good the thumb is, the two fingers and the other one, and how clean it is. That line work and how clean that line work is around the hand for it flowing and being consistent is very good.
Yeah, I like that they are. You see everywhere they're working on line work. They're using a good fake skin. The stuff is in motion. You know, they're doing some good things here. Just continue to work on that line work. Figure out the connecting of two lines, and then work yourself into color. Color's tricky. It really is. It really is, because it's not quite the same way it works on paper. But you're doing the right thing by working on that fake skin, because that is forgiving. Doesn't cry, doesn't get mad if you make mistakes. And don't rush it. Don't be in a rush to get on skin. Take your time. All right. Next up is a few pieces of varying sizes. Hey, I started practicing about 5 months ago, and these are some of the pieces I am most proud of. Probably done on my own legs, except the swiper one. Would love your feedback. Not my original designs, but I redraw them before I stencil them out. I don't know what that means. Okay. 5 months, not a long time. I don't know. Is that 5 months period? I started practicing 5 months ago.
Oh, what was it?
I don't know. It's Joshua Winters, maybe?
Joshua Winters. Elias?
Yeah. If Josh is in the chat, let us know if you're in the chat, man. That way, if you know, let's see what we got here. You know what? That black is pretty saturated, but we definitely have some, some lining issues here and there. Up in the horns a little bit, but I mean, there's a little bit of shakiness here and there. It's not terrible though. You know what I mean? It's not bad shakiness. I do like that the black is saturated, and again, the eyes aren't my favorite.
No,
but the black is saturated pretty good. And I guess if you're going to jump the gun and do a tattoo on your skin in 5 months, at least it was a black tattoo, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean.
But let's talk about it, Andy.
That eye there, it's as funky as chuff. Is that, you know what I mean?
It's definitely odd.
There's just with the composition of it, shall I say, before the tattooing, just with the composition of it. But what I will say is, if you scroll down a little bit, Dave.
Sure, man.
There, Lips look a little bit lost, I'll be honest, because it's all black.
Yeah, with the fingernails and the blood coming from the...
I'll be honest, this may have worked with this one, that instead of doing it all black, if you've done it all black, so maybe done lips red. But hey, that's me, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Just to make them stand out. What I will say, the fingers aren't bad. I've seen way worse fingers from people that have been tattooing a lot longer. That actually, for a woman's finger, they kept slender, they kept lined pretty good. You know what I mean? Fingernails past the end of the fingers. You know, they're not halfway down the fingers. It's just, like I said, there's just a couple of little bits, but you're 5 months in, like Dave says, lines in arms, a little bit shaky, a little bit hesitant. The black is looking saturated. And the bonus thing for 5 months in, Dave, the bonus thing, just says put this much black in, it doesn't look overworked. It doesn't look beat.
Right. No, it looks like the black was applied very well. It is very saturated. And you're right. It does not look like this black was beat in and packed in there. I think the lining needs some more work. You probably are aware of that. Definitely does. Saturating a black. It's looking good. Lining is a bit shaky here and there. At least where it really mattered on that nose, those are pretty good. I don't know if this is some kind of shading we have in here. At least you didn't do a lot of that because that looks a little odd. So what I would suggest, so moving forward, guys, just so you guys are aware, the next time we do a critique, whether it be next Sunday or Sunday after that, in order to have your tattoo critiqued, you have to send in the reference photo as well. So it's going to be a reference photo and your tattoo, because there's only so much we can really help you with or point out or give you opinions on if we don't know what it was supposed to look like. I remember the one time we were like, oh, these lines look crazy, crazy. They sent us the reference photo. The lines were crazy, crazy. It was a design made specifically that way, and that's what the person wanted, you know? So in this case, I don't know. Is the eyeball supposed to look like that? Are certain lines supposed to be a certain way, right? But overall, when you look at it, it's like, you know what it is. I just wish that eyeball wasn't like in a weird spot in that socket. That'd probably be my only.
You could, if you wanted, Dave, you could get a little bit critical. No reference photo with it, no critique. You know what I mean?
That's what's going to happen with the next critique we do, Andy.
Yeah.
Gotta send us your reference photo, and that doesn't mean your stencil, your reference photo, because you gotta have reference photo. We also want to make sure people are using a reference photo, you know, or reference of any kind, a reference that you drew, colored, blah blah blah, whatever. You'll send that in. It's definitely gonna help you out a bit. All right, it's some really small stuff going on in here, and but the lines again, they're just a bit shaky here. This has got quite a bit of wobble in it. Same through here. They look a little harsh at times. A little bit of maybe a micro blowouts down here.
Back at cape, you can see a little pickup and put down at back at cape.
Yeah.
You know, near bottom. You see, now if these are on himself, see the other thing as well is Elias is, is it Tanuki Gold? I think it's Tanuki Gold.
Okay.
The other thing as well is make sure you are stretching this skin, because if you're not stretching the skin and you're not consistently stretching the skin, you're gonna get shaky lines anyway. Because what I'm looking at is some of these lines are shaky. You know what I mean? They're like the lower leg, but then you look at the underneath of the upper leg, which isn't half bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering whether, and this is newbie territory for him as well, you know, with stretching and 5 months in, this, that, and other. When you're on yourself, you've got to make sure you've got your consistent stretch for each area, and then put it in. Again, like I say, you've got a couple of pickups and put downs back at cape, which you're 5 months in, but on a client, they're not acceptable. You know what I mean? Your client a bit, and I know you got to learn and know what you think, but it's your client. A client, when you were doing it full time, these are the things you've got to think about. Your client won't accept you having one line here and your other line finishing over the top. You'd have to, and if that happened on a client, you'd have to find some way of correcting it, shall we say? Right,
and sometimes the client might not even bother them, but if they show another person as a little bit more, they might go, I don't know, a couple things, blah blah blah, and then you might not get that customer might not turn on another customer. You know, it is tricky. So we're just trying to help y'all along here. I think you said you used a 5 and a 3, and at least we got where the eyes are in the mouth, there's a little bit of breathing room in there for now. If anything, I do keep just nowadays single needles in my toolbox now, and I pull them out just for times where you need them, but you gotta be very careful with them. That little bit of single needle work in here would have been probably beneficial as well. Would have given it a little more breathing room and whatnot. But you live, learn, tattoo, and learn. That's the way she goes.
Like I say, I can't use a single, so I've got a 008. I use a double zero. I use a 003 round liner, which is super tight, super small.
That would be good to use as well.
To be
probably
honest,
get a little bit more stiffness to it, huh? You can get a little more.
I'll be honest, Dave. Even with my glasses on, mate, that's as low down as my eyes are going to see at my age.
I honestly cannot really see the needle. I just have gotten so familiar with knowing where the needle is going to be that I just know where the needle is going to be a lot of times. Then I can immediately start to feel it. So it is definitely not for the faint of heart. Okay. Look at this. Someone's being nice. I haven't read it yet. Yep. Dave, I just want to thank you for all your videos. They really helped me progress. And I just got offered my first job at a shop of my dreams. Man, that is freaking awesome. Awesome.
She must be on about another Dave and another channel.
There's another Dave out there with some tattoo videos, and we're taking credit for it. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, thank you, Em. I appreciate it. I'm glad the videos could help you out, and I'm really happy for you. That is encouraging to everybody here, I think. It's encouraging to me, and you give it all you got. Treat it like this is it. This is your shot. You got it. Chase it. Listen to your mentors if that's what's happening, or if you're just straight up tattooing in the shop, give it all you got. Right on, man. Congrats for sure. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, back to Joshua's piece here. Okay, this is healed. You can see where he kind of did some shading stuff here. Does it work? I don't really feel it. Same coming out of this mouth here. It looks like the technique just isn't there when it comes to the shading. Lines, again, this is a thick, bold line. We got a bit of scarring, maybe a little bit of blowout going on. It's a small blowout, if you will. You can tell these lines kind of multiple bangs on them. These are all just little things we're just going to point out to you that you might even see them, but you sent it here, so we're just going to talk about it. The black seems to have held up pretty good, though, Andy. That's a plus there.
Yeah, like I said, just a couple of little blowouts, especially left on, and the outer circle part, you can plainly see from where it comes from the eyeball up to the first on, the thickness of that line, and then when it goes past the other on and then comes down towards the mouth, the line weight just changes completely. It starts off again okay, and then it just changes completely. Looks like there's a little bit missing halfway down that line, whether that would have looks more like it's been a pick out, does that,
Oops,
if it's
bad, sorry.
If it's got scabbed, it's been pulled out.
Right.
But again, line weights on inside the eyes. Line weights just not quite there. Some of the lines down tongue, a little bit patchy, a little bit in, a little bit out. Generally, the black looks to be okay. But what I will say, some of them lines, especially around the horns and that, are running very, very close to the edge of being blown out. They are deep.
Mm-hmm.
They are deeper, them lines. And like I say, they just look like you're running on the edge of actually blowing it out, being too deep in the skin.
Yeah, somebody brought up a good point off topic from this tattoo. But Em, for the sake of educating everybody here, if you are willing, you don't have to. You can say, guys, I'd rather not, and that we'll respect that. But do you mind sharing the percentage that the shop is set up for you? Are you renting a booth from them? Is there a percentage? Because I know there's a lot of people in the chat here that are looking, and they are curious of percentages and what they might be looking at as maybe a new artist walking into a shop and getting a full-time job. Every place is different.
Yeah, I mean,
but
a lot of places here in the UK, it's 50-50, 60-40.
Right.
Yeah. But when I say 60-40 as well, and sometimes I say 50-50, they'll supply you with the
There we
needle
go.
disposal, the waste disposal, you know, you're both aware of a thing to work, and cleaning equipment, you know, to clean general cleaning equipment, shall I say, and the use of maybe a printer. But then after that, all your needles, all your cartridges, all your inks, anything after that, you've got to pay out of your 60%. So
Yes.
the other thing you got to be careful of, it can be rapidly become, that 60% can rapidly become 35%.
And it's a really good point, Andy, to bring up as well. I think, and I just want to go over what she said first, and then we'll bring that into play. 60-40 for the first year, 70-30 for the second year. Then I'm allowed to just rent a booth. That's not a bad for entering in my opinion. I mean, I personally would love to see all artists at 70-30 personally. Yeah. I just think you're putting in the work as a shop owner, you know, it is what it is. But at 70-30, you're probably, in my opinion, take on a little bit more ownership of your supplies and whatnot, in my opinion, right? But that's good. That's good. In a year, you'll be at 70-30. I think that's fair. I personally, it's just me, I think 50-50 is robbery. I think it's greedy. I know that's been the way it has been for a long time, apparently, but I'm just not a fan of it. So it's good to see that you're in at 60-40. They're going to see how you work, probably, I'm guessing, and then move you on up to 70-30. And then from there, renting a booth. That is good. But Andy, you bring up a good point. Em, if you'd like to share, you're more than welcome to. If not, that's fine. Maybe you're not sure yet. But is there anything included in your 60-40? Are they providing you needles? Are they like, hey, you can use the ink, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of times, even if you are, that's whatever brand the shop uses as well. Yeah. So you lose that ability to pick and choose. I would rather personally go rent the booth. Obviously, that's the best way to go, in my opinion. But from there, 70-30. And, you know, I want to buy my own needles anyhow, because I want what I want to use. Unless they're providing you with like top of the line, then it's like, all right, sweet. But anyhow, if you want to share that.
But then again, it's all right and providing you with top of line, but if you don't gel with them cartridges, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true too.
Not everybody gels. You can get the most expensive cartridges, and you don't gel with them, you don't like them. And that's just how it goes. Same with the inks. They could be using eternal inks, but you might not like them. You might not. It's your personal preference. You know what I mean? You might not like how they go in. You might not, or anything. You've got to find something that works for you. It's like with you and me there. They might use inkjet stencil printing, but you prefer thermal printing.
Right.
So you've got to go get some thermal printing. You like to provide your own thermal printing, your own paper, or vice versa. You know what I mean? It might only be thermal printing that they do, and you prefer inkjet. Well, there's so many variables to this that not everybody works exactly the same with the exact same supplies. Because if they did, they'd only be one set of supplies.
Yeah, and she's in a good situation here. I mean, yes, all supplies are their responsibility, but I'm allowed to purchase, use anything I want if I prefer. That's great that you can, and that's great that they are providing you that stuff. And so great. And they use good needles in their Quadrant, Cheyenne. You know, I'm not a big fan of Cheyenne needles like you were just talking about, but I do love Quadrant. So that's really cool. Wow, Em, congratulations then. I think that's a good starting point, 60-40 with the knowledge that you're going to progress from there. Hats off to you. Congratulations. You obviously worked hard to get to that. So right on. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Hopefully that encourages everybody else here that you can make it happen. So we're going to just, as we look at these, we'll throw some more questions out to you, Em, since you're here. Are you self-taught through maybe YouTube, maybe some programs? You know, I know there's tons of courses now. Are you self-taught, or did you have an apprenticeship and maybe some videos here and there?
I think she put in the thing that, what is it? I'm sure she put, thank you so much, full-time artist, no apprenticeship needed.
Yeah, I know she's not in an apprenticeship, but I was wondering if maybe she had one.
Right.
And was just like using YouTube because I hear some people are in apprenticeships and they're not learning anything. Maybe she used YouTube along the way, or she purely self-taught through outside sources, and then was able to really lock on this spot at this tattoo shop. So, if you want to answer, okay, I had an apprenticeship. Okay, that's what I thought. I had an apprenticeship for about 6 months, then pandemic, and the rest was all me. I relate to that. I get that very much so. So a little of both. Good. So again, guys, if you're watching, you're mainly self-taught. It's all there for you. You know what I mean? It's there for you if you're going to work hard enough to get to it. So thank you for being open, Em. We really appreciate it, and continue to wish you all the best.
And it shows these guys as well, look, it can happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Perseverance and everything.
Yep. All right. And did she say this one? One of them wasn't hers. I don't remember. The swiper? Is this the swiper?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, we usually look at 3 anyhow. But I think
line work's going to need some work. Elias, Tanuki, like I say, your line work's going to need work. And you need to concentrate. You need to concentrate on fluidity, consistency, stretching that skin, and just making pickups and put downs. Pickups and put downs are a big one. You know what I mean? Because you can't always pull, and you can't always pull a full line. So you've got to be able to run with that line back in and take it back out again, you know, and carry on that line. So they're things, they are critical. And getting your hand placement for getting round lines, Dave, is a good one for, you know, that people need to. It's all right going on and then finding, getting set up and then finding you can only go this far with your hand, you know?
Right.
So if you move your hand further round, you could actually come, you know, further out, you know, you could actually pull a longer line.
Yeah, and that's going to, like you said, come with time and practice. And this piece, I put that on a buddy. So that's what must have been what he meant by the other one. I think this one is the best one of the bunch when it comes to the line work, Andy. The tail, if we cut the tail out, it's really not too bad. I mean, we have a few spots here and there. I mean, it's an improvement over some of the other line work we saw.
Yeah.
Even in this little thing he's holding there, there's a lot of little things going on there. It looks pretty good. The eye, you know what I mean? There's a lot of good stuff here. But again, it appears that these longer lines, connecting those lines is a reoccurring issue for a few people. And I know it was for me, and it still can be. You can still, you know, fart and mess it up. So, but practicing that on maybe some fake skin, because it's about feeling and knowing where your needles are going to go and getting used to connecting those. So you can definitely practice on fake skin, and it's not so much about needle depth, but more about, or speed and all that, but really just getting practice with it. So lay some stencils out and just practice connecting lines, seeing which way you like. Do you like to pick up the line and go, or is it easier to go back to the top and bring it down and connect the line? Different strokes, literally, for different folks. Wow, we got a lot of emails coming in here.
Therapeutic,
there's nothing here, man. Therapeutic, if you're out there, man, send it in again, my man. Send it in again, because there's no picture here. But he did pay his hard-earned money for Thus tattoo. Had a blast. Part of it was live streamed. That's my tattoo. Right on, dude. It's on the Instagram.
William.
And thank you again, Therapeutic, for hanging out with me, man. I had a good time. Hey guys, again, tattooed for about 2 months and finally switched to real skin on your suggestion. Skulls are on Amazon skin. All right, so I'm assuming this one right here is the true skin you went with, and these two are the Amazon fake skins. All right. It's not bad. I just question what these thick lines, like, are they thick lines, or are they 2 lines and then not filled in? You know what I'm saying, Andy? Like, you get a lot of these 2 lines next to each other, but then they're like not filled in.
To be honest, looking at that, I mean, it should have been 1 line running around there rather than 2. So looking at either side at tongue. So, and I mean, these are on Amazon skin. We know that they're not the best. This looks like it's on that really thin Amazon skin as well. So we've seen people do amazing stuff on this, but general consensus is when you're actually learning and you're first out, it's just going to, it's not going to do you any good in this unless you know what you really know what you're doing and you can get around it. But it's just going to hold you back, is this stuff, and it's showing up. This lines are light, you know what I mean? They're not washed out, they're not punched, because you can see some lines are a lot darker than the other ones, and the shading and the black's not black. That's just because it's not in the skin, and this skin's crap. Absolute garbage.
Very hard to use. Very hard to use. Well, let's check out the next one then. Oh, I think we saw one similar to this the other day. I think, again, it's just really hard to judge because of the fake skin it's on, because we know the struggle on that. Because, again, the black is very kind of patchy. You can kind of see where you've made your motions and whatnot. And on a better fake skin, a lot of times you can get a better, smoother saturation. You can go slower, get a saturation so the area feels like you can't tell exactly where your mag was moving or whatnot throughout it. Again, with these lines, though, I don't know if we're just going over several times to thicken them up. Kind of looks that way. If you're going to do it, I would say just get a bigger needle grouping.
Get a bigger needle and a round shader and go over it. It looks like they're going over then lining downside, and they're not getting, you know yourself, Dave, out. You'll get a 9-round liner and do one pass, and then to run 9-round liner down the other side of it and do another pass. It's not an easy thing to do.
No, and you'd have to be pretty consistent to do that. You'd be better off using a 9-round shader in that case.
Yeah.
And punch in one solid, and it's quicker and it's smoother, you know. Treat these needles like paintbrushes. I know in the beginning you might not have them all, but get some practice with them, get different sizes. But round shaders are like some of my favorite needles to line with. All right, Andy. So here we got him on some Real Skin, the brand Real Skin. And we'll start with this mandala. Definitely an improvement when it comes to those lines, because here we don't really see a lot. It's a real thick. They are better, but again, they are not. It's not like they followed the stencil though.
They're not connected.
They're not connected.
Start and stop points. Do you know what I mean, Dave?
Oh yeah. And again, the problem is, Andy. Unfortunately, we're going to be honest here. There's more lines not connected than there are connected.
Yeah.
Almost all of these are not fully connected, and it's those little things that's going to make the difference. And the other thing too is that, you know, if we take, clearly this is supposed to swoop up. I can't zoom in anymore. I would. Where this side cuts hard over. You know, are we following the stencil? Did you lose some of the stencil?
I mean, connecting. It's quite connecting. I mean, it's quite simple. You've got a start and a stop point, and you can see the tip of your needle. So you can see where it starts. So you'll go across and then put it in. But you've got to put it in on that point, run it round, and then when you get to your finish point, take it out. If you can't see the end of your needle or the tip of your needle, you're going to struggle with your start and stop points.
Absolutely.
Quite simple. If you can't see the end of it, you are really going to struggle with your start and stop points if you can't see the end of that needle to get it in. Now, again, mandala, 99.9% of them have got some sort of symmetry going on with them.
Right.
With this, we can see where the symmetry is supposed to be, but it's not happening because you've either lost your stencil or you've not followed it properly. And the lines on the points, you've got some curvy ones, some of them are a bit more straighter with angled off. Your pickups, your put downs, and that. I'll be honest, the best thing I can say about this one is the circles that go through the concentric, all the little circles that go around it, even though they're not amazingly great. They're about the best looking part of it because, like I say, with the amount of lines that aren't started, aren't stopped, they just draw your eye all over the place. And then your insides of your mandalas, where you've got your outer side line, and then you've got your inside line, where they should be in the middle, they're not that off. You've either got a space round them or they're touching. And unfortunately, all this draws your eye to so many little bits. It's that you're all over it. You're going to jump all over this like a rash and find so many things wrong with it.
Yeah. And if you zoom out on it, like, unfortunately, this is as far as I can zoom in, and looking at the screen over here, it actually, from further away, you don't see as much of it. Your eyes can still see the things, but you don't get too close to really see that. I think we lost the stencil somewhere along the way, or you're having a hard time tracking the stencil, keeping the needle laid in and moving. And while the circles aren't bad, again, every one of those, we're looking at, and right here, those don't even, the circles don't connect. Again, it might, I don't know if you can see my mouse. Let me zoom back in here. Right here, they don't connect, so just a series of little things that add up. Coming down here, again, where there's, where it's just saturated, I like it. The trees look okay. I wish this tree had like a little, looks like they chopped the top of it off, but hey, whatever. It's nature. We'll call it. The mountain looks pretty good, The sun, we had to try to make a circle, and you can see where the pickups and put downs, again, where you're trying to connect. At least it's symmetrical. At least it looks like a nice round circle. It's just that we can kind of see where everything happened. And anywhere where there's a kind of a line exposed all by itself, you can see where, it's not quite straight. It's not quite. So I definitely would say keep working on your lines. And that's the smoothness of them, following the stencil, getting the shakes out, keeping them from the fake skin from bouncing. Saturation wise, the lines look pretty well consistently saturated. They look, for the most part, they all seem to be the same size. So you're finding a decent depth in your fake skin, but now you just got to get that smoothness,
Yeah. I mean, also when you're doing lines, if you're doing curved lines, you can use your wrist. You can use your wrist and your elbow, that way around. If you're pulling straight lines, you want to be like using your elbow and your shoulder type thing, because that's the natural. Using your wrist and your elbow this way is a natural way to get curved lines like that, which is your natural flow of it. Pulling straight lines, if you pull through your elbow and pull through your shoulder, is a natural way to get a straight line. But you've got to plant that other arm for stretching, get that in. Don't forget to angle your machine, because your machine angle, we've not preached this for a bit. Your machine angle as well, and the angle of your needle going in that you can see, is pretty crucial as well for evenness. And it's exactly like Mike says, take your time. It's not a race in this stuff. And this is another common factor. People see videos on YouTube and you see them going, and they've done a line, but them videos are usually sped up 2, 3, 4, 5 times the speed of what they are in real life.
Yeah.
You'd actually be pulling it at something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're actually pulling your line, something like that. It's not like you're drawing with a pencil. It's actually a lot slower. Got your machine on an angle, bringing it down, breathing steady, looking for your start, looking for your stop, keeping your eyes, and just looking at that spot where you're working and looking at where your line's going and where your line's going to finish. And that's all you focus on. You don't need to be looking at your client or looking at this piece where you're going to put your next line. You just need to be fixated on that line that you're actually doing.
Definitely. All right. I think we were corrected earlier. I think Eli goes by Eli.
Goes by Eli, yeah.
Goes by Eli. All right. So he said, I got the brushstroke style tattoo while I was in Osaka. I'm not very good at reading. With one of my best friends back in 2018. It basically symbolizes my family bloodline. Oh, nice. And the artist bumped the price up by $100 after he finished. So I ended up having to use my broken Japanese to tell him I was leaving my bag at his shop while I ran to the ATM to grab some more cash for him. Okay, so you got this brushstroke tattoo. Let's just pull it up. That way we can go through. Oh, that's cool. All right. Got this brushstroke tattoo. And when it was all said and done, he would charge you $100 more than you guys had originally said, is what it sounds like here. Okay. So you had to, in broken English or broken Japanese, tell him you had to run to the ATM and give him more money. Okay, I'm tracking. That's interesting. Hopefully he understood what you were saying and waited around for you. The paw print is a memorial piece of my dog Bear, right on, who I rescued from a bar parking lot during a heavy storm 10 years ago. He went with me everywhere, and he was super chill and well-behaved. I had to have him put down back in February this year because he had cancer. Man, I'm sorry to hear about that, man, which ruptured and caused fluid to build up in his abdomen and chest, so he was in constant pain. I had left him in the care of my mom for a couple of years because I had fallen out on hard times and couldn't provide the lifestyle I wanted for him. I just got a place in February, and I was about to take him back in, but I went to get him checked out, and that's when he got the news it was terminally bad. It was really difficult to have to walk into the room and stick by his side while he was put to rest. But the vet covered the cost for the cremation and ink printing. Wow. I took the print of the paw and stenciled it out and put it on my right knee myself. I wanted to keep it light so it looks more like a print than a fully saturated blot. Now I have my boy with me forever. Let's take a look at this dog, man. Bear. Oh, man, he's cute too. Doggone it. Sorry to hear about Bear, man. Cute dog. There you go. Right on. Did it yourself on the knee? Oof. Ow, man. Ow. It is definitely light, but hey, you know what? You did it yourself. It represents your dog. And it's healed and hairy. It's going to be there. You got him with you. That's cool, man. Now, I can't believe, man, they charge you an extra. What did they charge you for this? They may have did you dirty a little bit.
I'm going to say it doesn't look the best of.
No, not the best of.
I don't know whether it's the picture or it's the style that it's meant to be in. It looks as if there's dark, whether it's meant to be like a model style, I don't know. You know, it's hard without seeing the reference picture on something like this, because I guess it's some sort of, it's really hard to judge this one, you know. It looks like it's almost intentionally done.
I think so. I think it was because it was supposed to be that brush style. I think it's trying to, match like a brush stroke, light in some spots, dark in others.
Yeah.
Kind of one of the tricky things to know exactly what someone's looking for in that regard. Yeah. But hey, Eli, thanks for sending that in, sharing your story, man. Sorry to hear about your dog.
Yeah, what's he saying?
Part of the family over time,
Yeah, they agreed on $250, but he bummed it to $350.
Oof. Okay. All right. Hey, I don't know. What are you gonna do when it's like broken, Japanese? I mean, you ain't got much choice.
Yeah,
but
you don't want to get your ass sushi, do you? You know what I mean? You don't want to get sent into sushi.
That's true. All right. Stephen LeBlanc. He says, my tattoos and my wife's in progress leg sleeve. Parts are cover-ups. Foot tattooed 3 times. She is now on her 3rd artist working on it. Oh my gosh. So her foot has been I don't know if it's okay. Let me my tattoos and my wife's in progress leg sleeve. Parts are cover-ups. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, I remember this piece.
Look at this. Back.
Did somebody start putting color in there?
Yeah, because the other picture you sent, it looked really washed out, didn't it?
I didn't think there was any color in the one we looked at before.
No, it looked, but I think it was further away, and I don't know whether the lighting was same, but
maybe.
I think I remember saying I wouldn't mind reworking on this one myself.
I know. I'd love to see what they come up with along the way here. Okay. All right. I like this little flame thing going on in there. Oh, that's kind of cool. Right on. We got a lot of photos here. Oh, wow. Ooh, I really like the way they did this. Look at that, like splotchy watercolor work there. That's cool. And the way like the lines are all sketchy and the watercolor. Ooh,
Mad
this
Hatter's
is
Tea
gonna
Party,
be.
isn't it? Is it all Mad Hatter's Tea Party? Yeah.
What's that?
It's all the Mad Hatter's Tea. Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter's Tea Party, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like the way they're doing
And do you know
this.
something? I'd love to do something like this.
Yeah, I
I
love
would
this.
really love, I'd love to do something like this, like a Mad Hatter's Tea Party or full Disney or full Marvel or something like that, in full colour or like this. I mean, the watercolour's nice how they've done it.
I love how they did that watercolor. That's really nice. This person, this is something they do, you know what I mean? Even down here, the way this is like painted, it looks like a painting, which is really cool to get that across in a tattoo. It flows really nicely. Very fun. Oh wow, but wait, there's more. Yeah, okay. Oh, she's in a jar. Eat me. Wow, this is fun. Oh, she got the cups down here. Oh man, that is cool. I don't know, Andy. I'm just kind of like really digging the style.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's not something I do. And I think that's sometimes why I like these kind of things more. Because you're like, wow, I want to do something like that. But now I got to do it like this. Boy,
I'd love to do something like that. I mean, you got perfect canvas. Alicia's on here. She said, "Oh, I really like how they're doing that one." There you go, perfect canvas. Something same.
She doesn't pay very well. She's always running out on the bill. And
I'll tell you what. I bet if you did art leggy, I bet you'd still end up owing your missus for everything that she does.
It's true. She's got like almost 2 sleeves. I'm naked in comparison to what she's rocking. But again, she let me do that when in that phase where it was like pretty good, but luckily she got the good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, sweet. I'd still love to work this back though. You know what I mean, Andy?
Yeah.
We were talking to him last time. Like, you can do so much with this, man. This could really be something wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. Steve, thanks for letting us check all that out. And that watercolor work is killer. So nice. Let's see. Oh gosh. Oh, goodness me. Next up is Poopy. Pope. Poopy. Poop. Pope. Poppy. Hey, Poppy. Let's see. One is my first solid attempt at semi-realistic objects, and the other is another first attempt at an 8-bit design. Thank you. All right, so we have this one right here, which is your first attempt at semi-realistic objects. Well, that's kind of cool. I like those books. It's quite interesting. I like this tattoo. I do wish maybe, and again, some of what we talk about is all personal preference, but I do wish it was a little more dark, maybe right at the base of this, these petals coming off, just so you can, at a real quick glance, tell that this is easily the center and it doesn't jive or get too blended in with the petals. But some of the lines are really light, but I think even if they kind of dissipate, it still kind of gives this sort of like free flowing kind of look to it. Same with the pages. I was like not a line there, but there's a little bit right through here.
Just a little bit of it.
Yeah, like your eyes put the rest together, so it kind of works. I like this tattoo.
It's like the underneath of the pages on that top book on the left hand. They're not lined in, just got like that fade shading, coming down from, and they look super soft and everything. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. And the people are saying the books look sweet. Give that flower dark lines, or just a little bit of dark, like right here, just to help separate a little bit. That would probably be all I have to say on that. Let's see. SL Ink 13. I like the flower. Could use like a background, even light, to give the flower an outline. Oh, I see. Yeah, some way to give it a little bit of an outline. Yeah, like I said, I think even if some of this fades a little bit, it's still gonna like aid in that that sort of free flowing look. But yeah, maybe a little bit more structure up here seems to be the consensus. All right. Dude, I like it. Why can't anybody come and ask for a tattoo like this? This would be so much fun, you know, blocks. And in the end, it just ends up looking pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it. As long as all these blocks are nice and symmetrical and it seems well saturated. Yeah, that is cool. That's cool. I don't know. I got nothing to say, man, other than it. I like it. It looks like what is it, an 8-bit AK-47, man.
Nice. It's nice style of getting it done. It's not the norm, is it? You know what I mean, Dave? And
yeah,
sometimes something out of the norm, and it's shall we say, it's not an over complex detail wise, but it's done really well. That it looks really good.
Yeah, like it would be. I would love to have one of these tattoos, and they're not overly crazy, obviously, but you know, you guys still have to do them right. The colors have to be saturated. You know, you're running colored lines in some spots, so you got to make sure it's all there. Even simple tattoos got to be done right. If this wasn't clean, it wouldn't look good, obviously. No. So nice job, both these. We wish we could pronounce your name correctly. We'll call you Pope just to be nice because we don't know. But very cool. Quite different things. And these were the person's first time doing each of these styles. And I think they did good. Oh, is this the same email? It is the same email. Okay.
Yeah.
Steve LeBlanc again. Steve says, just one this time. Busy with work, but trying to keep at it when I can. Tried to do this practice, long sweeping lines. I still need work, but I like the design too much not to share. Okay, before I look at it, you tried to do this practice, long sweeping lines. All right. Oh, that's not bad.
It's not
I
that
see
bad.
what you're talking about here. You know, it's not easy to get two lines running side by side all the way down. No, I think you did a good job. I think it's cool, man. I mean, the design is half the coolness of it, but I mean, you know, yes, there are the flaws. You know, yes, there are like little spots, but there's not enough of them to go, ooh, no, I like it. I like it. And you're definitely practicing something good. You know, these long lines like you're talking about. Overall, the line weights seem pretty consistent. Hey, good job, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we were saying earlier. Parallel lines that are pain, you know what I mean? Getting them super consistent. They're an absolute pain, like circles, concentric circles. They're an absolute nightmare. So, to be fair, you've not done too bad. You've not done too bad at all. You know, lines and that. And like Dave says, more of your singular swooping long lines. Is there a couple of little bits? Yes, there is. Generally, are they good? Yes, they are. Consistency and line weight seems to be there. Just a couple of little areas. But then again, you go into the other stuff. Like them two lines, like the lines that come off the nose and go under, they're nice lines. Whisker lines look okay. You've got the little lines, you know, for the fur around the eyes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's fine. I honestly think it's fine. I'm not going to beat you up. I'll look at the whatever it is on the left-hand side, coming off side of his helmet that looks like a cigarette. I mean, them two lines, that's perfectly parallel to each other. Nice little circle on end. You know, the little bracket that's holding it on is nice, you know, and clean. So, yeah, cool.
Oh, man. He said, thanks. This is the first tattoo that this is the first thing I tattooed that I designed. It was pretty exciting. Dude, I love your design, man. I want to tattoo this on skin and do a full color piece with this. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So it's pretty it's fun. It's a fun tattoo. I would love to do this tattoo in full color. And I'd love to see what you do with it next. Shade, color, you know. But overall, nice job, man. Thanks for sharing that with us, dude. Sweet. All right, we got Steve again. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. You said you wanted reference pics. This is the Procreate drawing of that tattoo. Oh, my God. Oh, dude, that's so cool. I love that he's purple, and the pink is the secondary color in this. Dude, that's cool, man. I like it. Yeah.
What I will say at this point, cool. I like it. But Steve, the purple in the third at the bottom, mate?
Yeah.
I can see you got two top. That translating as it stands like that, translating over to a tattoo would not translate over as well onto a tattoo as what it does on your drawing. You would probably have to step your shades further, or maybe introduce a third shade that's really, really dark, just to drop in the back of some of them, fur marks, just to push it out. Because what will happen with this is it'll go in the skin when you put it in. It may look not so bad, but as it heals, they'll start to heal more of a closer together colour, and you may lose a lot of it. So you might have had to introduce a bigger gradation between the two purples that you've used, or maybe just pull a little bit of a darker colour into the back edges of some of them fur lines, mate. That's just a thing. That's just to give you heads up.
Yeah. And dude, in my opinion as well, Andy, what would be great here would be the introduction of a bit of black. You can put black in color. I mean, it makes your colors pop even more, in my opinion. Yeah. So like up in here, I mean, I would find those real dark spots, go from a black to the deep purple and then out, because that's going to give you, especially like Andy was kind of hinting at down here, even just maybe maybe sometimes it doesn't work out like you think it is, so you do it in Procreate, apply some black in some of these super depth, dark, deep areas. It's going to give a little bit more dimension to it. But hey, even if it was tattooed just like this, I think it's going to be good. But still, yeah, just a little bit of depth here and there. But I even love the little glow of the. Might even have a little bit of that glow shining up on these top hairs a little bit too, if it's there. But whatever, who cares? Nice job, dude. Thanks for sending that in, dude. Love to see it. Hey. Oh, yeah, it's all hairy. Woo! Look at that hairy little bastard there.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, look at that hair. Man. Dude, therapeutic, brother.
It blurs tattoos out like nobody's.
It does, but it's like it's in there. It's like part of his skin now. You know what I mean? That's the fun part about healing tattoos, is that they just, like, when they're fresh, they're cool, but when they heal and they're like in the person's skin, like that's when you can really see, like the person owns that tattoo at that point. You know what I mean? Therapeutic, man. Thank you for sending it, dude. I appreciate it. Man, Therapeutic's up in New York, dude. You've been dealing with all this, what do you call it? Andy, you guys probably haven't had any of the smoke, have you?
You are?
The smoke coming in from Canada?
No?
Oh, I know New York's getting hit pretty hard. Virginia was getting hit pretty hard. Pennsylvania was getting hit pretty hard. I know Therapeutic is up there in New York. Curious to see how bad it was getting up there. All right, what are we looking at here? Started tattooing about 2.5 years ago and just wanted some of your opinions so I can get better.
It was a subscriber must have sent it to my email address, so I forwarded this on to you.
Oh, okay. I was a bit confused. I'm like, Andy, tattooing pig skin, huh?
They sent it on. It just popped in. It's just popped into mine. So basically, I just jumped on and I've sent it to you. I forwarded it to you, Mark, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Andy, I'm taking my moment to go pee. Which tattoo would you like to look at while I'm peeing?
Well, I mean, let's go with this one. I've got a couple to look at, haven't I? On this one. About there, Dave. That'll do, mate. And what I'll do is I'll go with the skull and snake to start with. And first impressions, let's be right, guys. I mean, first impression is it's dark in areas. The bottom half where the snake, if they can just make it out where the snake comes round and goes through the skull's mouth and comes down, you've just got them back areas which are very, very dark and very close to the snake's belly, colour of the snake's belly, to the point that under the snake's belly, in the mouth, that should have been black, you know, pushed out. Not quite saturated enough in areas. Yet the top of the eyes and the top of the eye sockets, you managed to get the black in there and faded out. Then the skull, to me, doesn't look too bad. Could do with working on a little bit of smoothing out on your shade and everything, but the skull doesn't look too bad. The thing that looks bad for me is the snake. I mean, there don't seem to be much detail in it, and especially where it comes out from the top left-hand side of the head and it comes round over the top of the skull to where the snake's head is. The snake's head, you've got to really, really fixate on where the snake's head is to, you know, pick it out type thing. And it just looks a bit lacking. And if you might need to zoom in a little bit more on the line work, Dave, so we can get on the line work on that. I mean, yeah, that line over the top of the skull, the top back of the snake, it's not punched in there, to be honest, but as you can see, it's darker. Then you've got a little bit of a lighter patch, same as it's going over. You've been at it, what, 2.5 years? What I would say is, I mean, I don't know, just dial it back a little bit, just work on something a little bit smaller. Because at 2.5 years, I'm looking over at this on the Dead Man's, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean thing, and I'm looking at some of the lines, and they're very, very scratchy. You know, for somebody that's been working at it for 2.5 years, your actual line work, and your shading works a bit choppy. Right. So what I would say is, maybe, I don't know whether you've had a break, I don't know whether you've been off, you know, from tattooing and then started coming back to it. If it is, and that's the case, what I would suggest is maybe just dialing it back a bit to start with. Start working back and just honing your skills back in. You know, we just maybe some just small, simple stuff, just honing it back in until you get back in one with your tattoo machine, and then just start scaling it up. That just seems a little bit out of your reach, these ones, you know, a little bit out of your skill level, because, like I say, some of them lines aren't in, and they're not round. The shading and the composite artwork, where the shading is, there's a little bit lost and a little bit muddy for me. I mean, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think they're just biting off a bit more. I mean, time is time. 2.5 years, 2 years, 5 months. We've seen some crazy stuff here. People have been like tattooing 5 days. You know, I'm exaggerating, but I think looking at just this piece, when I'm looking at the rest, I'm just focused on some line work. You know, because it's not horrible, but it's not there. You know, it's not consistent throughout. Because we work on that line work and then maybe introduce some shading into it, because the shading is a bit haphazard, you know, it's not really smooth. And over here, I don't know if this is stimpling, because it just kind of looks like the liner went up and down, but we just got the streaks of it. The hair, to me, it doesn't look like there was a lot of time put into it, right? It feels very rushed. Same over here. Now, I do like some aspects of the skull, to be fair, but you know, again, we look here, you could say that, you know, the skull is a bit beat up and maybe that's why, but the lines are not really very consistent. There's a lot of wobbles here, even in the chain, the barbed wire, the black isn't saturated. You know what I mean? Like it's just not. And we're just being honest, so that way you can walk away going, okay, I need to work on these lines. I need to saturate. I need to know what's going on here. And the shading, it's, again, just kind of messy. Again, luckily in skulls, Andy, we can get away with some slop and some texture and call it, and that's good. But I can't tell where the bob wire's at and where the eyes are at.
No separation.
No. And is it broken up here? Because I don't know what's happening, right? So
Yeah,
I'm going to say that you definitely going to have to. I mean, the shading here is better. I will definitely give you that. But again, there's no real line work going on. And this kind of needs some structure a little bit sometimes from some kind of lining. And whatever you got in the shading here, the hand's not coming across properly, right? It's just not. This finger looks small and weird. These ones, I think, are supposed to be going back, but they just look like they're cut off, if you will.
Yeah, I have.
So my biggest opinion on these, on your work that we're looking at, is to tailor it way back. Pull it back.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this any disrespect, but do some smaller pieces that are just line work so that you can't hide anything. You're just looking at your line work and just keep working on that until it's consistent. Then work on your shading on the side, whether it's literally on the side of the fake skin. Try to do a gradation or something, but definitely going to have to be smart and take a step back.
Like I say, you got to work out on your fluidity and your smoothness and everything. And it's all right putting some intentional choppy shading in, to give it texture, Dave.
Yeah.
But when it's consistently choppy and don't see so many smooth parts, that's when you begin to think that you need to work on your shading as well. And your shading technique. Because yourself, you can intentionally do it and put rake marks in and choppy parts to give it texture. But generally, you will have some smooth shading in there as well to go with it. When you can't really see any of that. This is when you start questioning stuff. I mean, the eyes on this are a bit lost, especially the right eye.
Right.
It's dark, and I only know it's a right eye because there's a left eye in there. But like I say, for 2.5 years, I don't know whether you've had a break, but just dial it back, get back onto your basics, keep on your fake skin, dissect your piece of fake skin so big that split it into 4. You know what I mean? Work on some of that size to start with, then you're not getting away from you. So it's just one of them things.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you just gotta know when to tailor it back. If you move forward without enough fundamentals, then you're just gonna be wading in the water, and it never gets fun from there.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. That's it. That's all that I have, Andy.
No problem. I was just 1 minute, Dave. Just give me 1 minute, mate.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Well, Irish, he said something about giving your work. Where did it go here? I don't see it now. But I didn't see your work. Did we look at your work today? Did you send it in? Did I skip it? Let me know if that's the case there, Irish. I think we looked at it though. But nonetheless, guys, if you have any more work you want to send in, feel free to do that. But if not, if you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask, you can throw that in the chat now. Myself, Andy, in the chat will be happy to help you guys out. What's going on, Chris? Welcome. But you just let us know if you have any questions. But hey, guys, the countdown to Texas is coming up quick. We'll be in Texas. We're leaving here July 28th to move to Texas, to the San Antonio area, in that relative area. So if anybody is in that region and you're interested in getting a tattoo by me, again, we should be hopefully maybe booking sometime August, mid to later August. So if that's something that you are interested in, I will keep you guys posted. I'm probably going to do a little bit of a vlogging of my move, just sharing that with you guys, packing up my shop, moving stuff, the process of, I'll be renting a booth somewhere is the idea for now. And so I'll just be sharing that with you guys as we go. So if there's people out there who are in that boat, I might as well share the experience, which all this channel has ever been, is just sharing my experiences. If I learned something, whether it was right or wrong, we'll just share it. Sometimes that didn't always turn out great, but that's just what we've done. So I'm going to continue to do the same thing when we get out there. But I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm looking forward to it. People have been asking me, do you have a place to live out there? No. Oh, then where are you going to be working? I don't know yet. So it's certainly a huge leap of faith, but we're doing it. We're gonna have fun along the way and share that with you guys along the way. Well, Andy, I think that's all
Anonymous.
the emails I have.
What's this? Anonymous says, I guess I got bumped.
Oh, what happened?
Anonymous, did you send a... Did we have an email? Oh, what were your email address?
Nobody's got
bumped. Nobody's got bumped tonight, Anonymous.
Is he going by any name email-wise that I could look for?
Yeah, what email? What's on your email, or what's your name, Anonymous? That we can have a look on your email, because nobody got missed. We got through them all. I mean, Dave's just checking now.
Yeah, but every once in a while, you know how it happens. Sometimes we click on something, we miss something. But if you tell me what your email is,
somebody sent one in as well, but there were no attachments. Go with that.
Oh, good call, good call. That was therapeutic, and he ended up sending it again. So I thank you for that, brother. I'm not seeing anything that was missed. Doesn't mean we didn't, but again, if you tell me what your email name is,
we'll have a look.
He's moving out of Texas before I move into Texas. Where are you moving to, man? I would love to know. Oh, look, M's wondering the same thing. Where are you moving to? Where are you moving? And why are you moving? get into your business here. Where are you going? What are you doing? Oh, M, while we're still in that, since we're winding down here, where are you tattooing out of? You don't have to tell us the shop, but what state, what country, blah blah blah.
Yeah, we've got Steve LeBlanc. Hey guys, did I miss the tattoo challenge? Are we doing that? The tattoo challenge is actually going to be on my channel.
Ooh, Andy's channel.
And it's the tattoo channel, and that's going to be taking you through from your artwork to your tattooing work on one subject. We're going to pick one subject, but the thing is, it's going to be, let's say I say to you a rose, but I want a realistic rose or a semi-realistic rose, not a traditional one or anything. Then you're going to find your own reference of a rose, and then I'm going to say I'm going to want to do it in black and grey. So then you're going to send us an art challenge in. You're going to do it in black and grey, charcoal, pencil, this, that, another, black and grey pen, whatever. Send it in. Following week, it may be the same subject. You do the exact same thing, but you're going to do it in colour. And then you're going to take one of them and you're going to tattoo it. And then we're going to see how you transition from your black and grey to your colour to your tattooing piece. And you're going to, and we can see then, because you're going to, when you submit your tattooing piece, you're going to submit your reference piece as well. Resubmit your reference piece, so then we can critique it and then go from there. So that will be over on my channel, which we should be back on there. Is it Thursday, Dave?
I won't be there because I'll be in Virginia.
Right.
Again.
No problem.
But Thursday after that, I should be there.
But like I said, so even if, because the reason we've done it that way, and we was on about, if you remember, is because then that leaves it open for people that maybe thinking about getting into tattooing. I want to know if their artwork's good enough, the black and grey work's good enough, or the colour work's good enough. People might want to do it and then take it through all the way through to tattooing. So it just leaves it a little bit open. You know what I mean? And that. So Danik says he'll host with me.
Oh man, that'd be funny.
Danik says he'll host. Well, if you're off work.
Get him in trouble while he's at work. Yeah. He's the boss though, so he's the boss. So I don't know if he can get in trouble. Arizona, he's in Arizona, and somebody said they were moving. Oh, I think. Gosh, I got to go up and move so fast. I I think he said he's moving to New Mexico for family and opportunities. I get that, man. That's the same thing I'm moving to Texas for. My wife's family and opportunities, man. I get that all day long. So, and therapeutic. I think he said he sent it. Yeah, we looked at it, therapeutic. I don't know if you were there in the chat while we were doing that. We checked out. We got to see your hairy ass arm, man. Wolfman growing back. It's looking good, man. I'm just trying to skim back through a lot of messages that came in there.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss too much of it, but I'm not as good as Andy.
I could even do that next. If you're not about next Thursday, Dave, I could even do that. Anybody wants to come on and host for 20 or 30 minutes with me? You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be fun.
And that get you sent over onto the channel. I'll put an email up, and I can always send you a link. Just be wary of what's in the background, shall we say? And
yeah.
You know,
yeah, that classic, you know.
But could always do that. If any of you are not feeling too camera shy, then they can always come on and host for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever. That might be a good one.
Yeah, that would be. And that was part of what we were talking about today is if somebody had a story we need more information on, we bring them in. But everything was pretty straightforward. And I had it was actually enjoyable to hear some stories and look at you guys' tattoos, you know.
It's always nice to switch it up. It's always nice to switch it up.
And we went through them kind of quick because we're not sitting here critiquing your tattoos that you got. That was not what it was meant to be. It was meant to just check them out. So if we went kind of quick through them, it was just simply that. We want to hear the story, take a glance.
I mean, it's like when we did meet. To be fair, we didn't meet subscriber, and what was it? I think initially did we have 17 on first time we did it?
Right. Yeah.
My God, we were still at it for 2.5 hours, weren't we? It was just 17 people. By the time you're reading the stories and everything, and that, I think we were still at it for 2.5 hours. And then I think the following week, a few people had cottoned on that, well, we're not going to sit there and roast you and take piss out of you and this, that, and other. We just genuinely did want to meet you. So they sent a load in, second week, didn't they?
Yeah. And so I will say our 30 some people, our solid crew who's always hanging with us. Next Sunday, if we're doing the tattoo, I only say if because sometimes things come up and I can't be here. But if we're here next Sunday and you send work in, submit, we're going to be doing the same thing. Again, if you want, you can always send in your tattoo in a story. Always. It's always just fun to get one of those. Or meet the subscriber. You want to send a photo of yourself, let us meet you. Love that as well. But if you want to send work in to get critiqued or talked about or whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? Just send in the reference, right? And it's a ballsy thing to do, and it will just allow us to help you out a bit more when we know what the reference looks like and we can tell how close or far off you were from it. And, it is what it is. But so we're going to require that for the future moving forward, even if it's just a lining tattoo, a simple, let's say a heart, a heart with an arrow through it or something simple like that. Send the photo, send the reference, right? The lined out, black on paper, boom, this is what I was following. Because sometimes an arrow comes in broken. We're like, is it supposed to be broken? Did you miss that line? Or, just whatever. You get what we're getting at. So,
but
and don't worry, Jason. It's okay. We weren't looking for reference on this one. We were just talking about on this one. So next go around, if you could, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and it's like you said, because we've said so many times that it all starts with your stencil. So if you've got a wobbly line on your tattoo and it's on your stencil, you need to work on your stenciling. Do you know what I mean? So that's one good thing.
Yeah.
Anonymous. I never sent the reference again. Must be why. No, we didn't need reference this week, Anonymous.
No, you're good this week.
No, you didn't need it this week, but it's just been through. And that's what he was saying. What's
an anonymous? What's your email? What's the name on your email? So I can scroll through here and see if maybe I clicked on it and didn't and then forgot about it or something. Because it's obviously not, well, most of the time it's not the same name as your YouTube name. So, so if you let us know Anonymous, what your email name is. I can go through my emails and just check to see if we missed it or something. Because if you send something, and I certainly don't want to miss it, since we have a little bit of time, I would love to check it out.
Yes, because like I said, it won't be long, and it's you haven't got so much longer now before you're going to start packing up as well, there, aren't you?
Yeah, we're pretty much. With my women picked up my daughter, and so with her here, I kind of when she comes, I try to tailor back my work that I'm able to spend some time with her, so I don't book as much. And then, but right now we're pretty much completely booked till we leave. Where our last tattoo is like July 15th. And I have some spots, but I deliberately am leaving them open because I don't know. I don't want to be go. And then, okay, I got to stop now. And we got to pack up. So a little bit of breathing room. I want to do a little bit of work to the cars, some maintenance, blah, blah, blah.
Chill out on bed, get some chilling out on bed and watching YouTube.
You know what I mean? Lay in bed, cook a steak.
Yeah.
In bed.
Watch a bit of YouTube.
Watch a bit of YouTube.
How are you going to cook? How are you going to cook though, Dave, when you're moving and it's all go, and you're not getting a chill on bed and watch YouTube?
I'm going to have to get a blow-up mattress. Let the wife drive, just lay in the back, rest out, get the YouTube going. Yeah, I'm thinking that's going to be the only way. But unfortunately, actually, the more I think about it, we're taking a U-Haul, her car, my truck. So actually going to have her father come out and drive one of the vehicles. So one swift motion. He did say, yeah, definitely change the oil in the car. Yeah, for sure. Anonymous says Oath Keeper, but just think the email is screwed up. Oh, okay. I'm going to just skim through here real quick.
Yeah.
But I don't recall any Oath Keeper. No. Did you send it today? Let me make sure it didn't get put in my spam. There is no spam.
Just says, thank you for my critique, Dave and Andy. No problem, mate. Thank you for sending it in. Like I said, at the end of the day, we do appreciate anybody that's sending them in because it takes balls. It takes balls to put your work out there.
Definitely.
Send it in and let somebody else have a look at it. And at the end of the day, we couldn't do what we do without you guys sending your work in. Just know that obviously a lot of you have been on it that no, you're too nice. You need to be more. We need you to be more abrupt. We need you to be more in as ribs and tell us what's going on. And that this is what we want. We can't go any better. So we've trying to take your requests on board, but again, we just don't want shall we say, comebacks, pissy ass people crying because they sent work in, and we say stuff that they don't like. But then again, unfortunately, that comes hand in hand with YouTube. I think they've done it.
It does, and just getting past it and going, hey, whatever. What is our mission here? What is our goal? Is to just interact with other like-minded people who like tattooing, and we know where you've been, and we're on our own journeys to get better and whatnot. And there's definitely stuff where you look back on and go, I screwed the pooch on this, that, or the other. And if you want to send in and have us do the same, we're here to do that. But we just want to do it a little bit more. Just want to get to the point a little bit. And there will still be people out there who say, dude, why don't you just be honest, tell them it sucked? It's like, well, I mean, what good am I going to do? Because I see redeeming qualities in something that's not good. It's like, well, it doesn't just suck. There's just things that aren't right that if improved upon would make it not suck or whatever, So we get nowhere by being like through the roof blunt, it would be so quick, oh, that's good. Oh, that's crap. Oh, that's good. We'll move on to the next one. Oh, that's crap. Blah, blah, blah. It is what it is, so try to find that balance. Yeah,
Brian does says you need to change oil in Kelly. Says baby oil works well.
Oh yeah. What happened? I put the baby oil in there like they told me to. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's probably not the best way to go. No problem, Irish man. I'm just keep trucking along, man. It takes time. Don't be in a rush. If you're working on a piece, just take your time. Even I know some people would say like, yeah, but this piece took me like 10 hours and it's not very big and there's not a lot of detail. Okay, so what? It took you 10 hours. So guess what? Right now, you're just trying to create the best you can create. And then you do that a little bit, do that a little bit. Over time, it's not going to take you 10 hours anymore. But put as much time as you need to into the fake skin work because, again, it's not going anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's like I say, it's not a client. So if you're doing a small piece like that, and it takes you 3 hours,
Yeah.
but it's bang on, then you're better off doing that than trying to rush through it and it looking like shit, basically.
True.
It's just one of them things.
Very true. And Justin's right. We're all at different points in this journey. Yeah, and it's never ending. I don't think it will ever end. I would really be sad if it did.
See, as well,
yeah,
people's learning abilities are different. The speed that people learn at are different.
Oh, right.
And it's like Dave might pick some stuff up a hell of a lot quicker than what I do. But then again, you might go to other stuff, and it'd be vice versa. It's just each individual's skill sets and abilities to pick that skill set up.
Mm-hmm.
We are all different.
Yeah, and I think that is probably one of the things I miss from, kind of being by myself here. And I think that's probably more so why I appreciate the group of people is because we can get stuck in our own little echo chambers or stuck not being able to communicate with other tattoo artists or other people. You can be tattooing no time at all, but found something out or tried an ink or used a needle or tried a machine that you can share with anybody. Somebody who's been tattooing for a long time, because you're new to it doesn't mean you don't have any value to bring to it. You do, because I cannot use every machine. I cannot do this. Andy can't do blah, try every battery out there. So you're like, hey, tried this, works, do this. I've tried many different things from different people's suggestions. Baby oil, knew about that. So yeah, definitely share. Don't be afraid to. I think if we can help everybody get better, even, I'm taking higher education in tattooing and learning other things because there's so much I don't know, and yeah, so continue to do that for sure. And
it's just a continual journey. That's all it is. It's just a continual journey. And all you can do is just get on the train and ride it.
Yeah. And don't get discouraged. I mean, you're going to maybe do good tattoos. You have a tattoo you're not in love with. And it happens all the time, at least monthly or weekly at times where you're like, I'm not in love with this. What is going on? Sometimes you got to put those behind you, realize that there was maybe some certain things involved, but don't beat yourself up to where you quit. That's the other thing too.
Just jump on your emails, Dave.
Yeah, for sure.
Em's the last that got the thing. She's just sent an email on some work she did on her boyfriend while she was learning out of a bedroom. If you keep up, you'll progress faster than you'll think.
I don't have any email from her right now.
Right.
If I don't know, I can put that email back up real quick just to make sure you got the right email. That'd be the email right there, scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And
just check that you've got right email.
And then Danik says, hey, Dave, whenever you pack all that tattoo equipment, are you bringing all the equipment that's been collecting dust? I don't really have a lot of equipment that's been packing dust, or to be fair, because when I was accepting machines from companies, I was giving them all away on the channel, or to clients who were interested in tattooing. It's like, take it. I give them so much away, really. At the same time, I'm like, man, I probably should have held on to some stuff. There are a few things I do have and that I'll hold on to that, were like first things for me, but I don't really have a lot of things collecting dust. People hit me up all the time like, hey, you got any old machines you want to give away? I don't anymore. I don't take on any. I really don't take anything anymore because that means I got to do a review on it. And I don't want to do a review on things if I don't want to do it. So I don't take random machines anymore, unfortunately. Because then you feel obligated, and I don't want to feel obligated. And Smoke says, Some peeps do need to be told to put down the needles, though. Don't lead on people if they suck after 10 years. You're right, Smoke.
You are right there. I
right
mean,
there.
but
Go on,
generally, anybody that
I did
sends in is, shall we say, new up to maybe 2 years, you know, into it. A lot of people are sub 12, 18 months, aren't they? You know, into the journey. And that a lot of them are even less than a year into the journey that send stuff in, you know, for critique.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. But yeah, you are right. I mean, if you're tattooing like shit and you're 10 years in, then it's never good. After 10 years, you're either just deluded that you're going to get any better, or you're seriously just not into it and just doing something wrong and just having somebody's leg up.
I put it like this sometimes. I tell people, like, do I play guitar? Yeah. Could you say that I've been playing guitar for 15, 20 years? You could say that because I've had a guitar that long and I played it back then, and I can still only play the similar things, you know, maybe 15 chords or something. You know, but do I really, really play guitar? If I were to submit my recordings to somebody and tell them I had been playing guitar 15, 10 years, they would laugh. They would know you haven't, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's what we see sometimes. There's people who are like, I've been tattooing 10 years. This is what I got. It's okay. So you tattooed a little bit on practice skin. Maybe 3 months later, you did again. 6 months later, you did some more. You know what I mean? But you really haven't been consecutively putting in the work to getting there. You know what I mean? With that out of the way, though, Andy, I did get that. I do have your email, M. I see it. Oh, I got to switch this around. Hang on. Boom, boom, boom. Put that over there. Now open up this one, and M, I do see your work right here. Now, did you say anything about him before?
She just put
here it is. Right here.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Just emailed you some work I did on my boyfriend while I was learning out of my bedroom. If you keep at it, you'll progress faster than you think. So this is some work when she was just learning in her bedroom. Oh, that's not too bad, though. If she's just learning, it's not bad. Not bad. The lines are pretty consistent through here, too. Oh, hey, that's pretty solid little thing, though.
It's a little banger.
Yeah,
it's just a little banger. I mean, you look at the line work around the outside. It's pretty consistent. Couple of little stop and start points you can see down the right hand side of under here, dog's chin. But generally, it's all good. The colour's saturated. It looks to be up to the line, and that. But again, it's just small. It's simple. Where you should be. How are you doing it when you just learning? It's not getting away from you. And
the saturation is good. The saturation is pretty solid. It's very orange, bold line weight. You know, good little tattoo. Here we can still see that solid. We can see that the lines are probably banged a bit harder here. You know, they're a bit heavy. But again, this was when she was practicing. She's showing like, look, I was working on tattoos. Sure, there was defects in them. I was learning. But here I have come along now. My work's improved to the point where, you got into a reputable shop and are enjoying things. And right on. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Oh, the first one. The fish was the first one you did on him. Yeah, that looks like it. That was probably the one that lines were a bit harsh on it. But overall, all three of those weren't terrible. You know what I mean? So you had a good start to move off of.
Tanuki, Tanuki says, when he says 5 months, it's more like 2 nights a week starting 5 months ago. Exactly. It's like what we're saying. So 5 months, so 10, it's not probably a great amount of time, really. 2 nights a week, if you're doing 2 or 3 hours a night, It's like 4 or 5 hours a week. Do you know what I mean, Dave? When you start adding it up, yeah, you've been at it 5 months, but in realism, you might have only done 60 or 70 hours, in total practice.
And I think the same thing happens, like, even when you're in like that apprenticeship or not, or tattooing, maybe the first year, maybe even then you might not be tattooing as much as you'd like to, and blah, blah, blah. But again, the more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes. The nerves aren't there all the time. You just focus on fundamentals and design and, all the things. But in the beginning, there's a heck of a lot going on. The brain is killing you. The body's nervous. And, how's this going to heal? Still to this day. And sometimes you're not sure how someone's skin is going to take a certain thing, So that's why learning never stops, because until you've tattooed like enough skin types to really, really know, there's still some doubt here and there. So you just really rely on what I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like it says, M-Spot says confidence comes with practice, for sure. It does. To the point, like now, it just becomes second nature. It's just like your line work. Your line work could just become second nature. It's like, on goes your stencil, let it dry, finish setting up, put your inks out. Yeah, it's dried. Over it comes. It just becomes a tracing, like a tracing job. You just you know exactly what you're doing. It's second nature, and then you just get more and more used to it with the repetition and everything that goes with it.
Definitely.
And the more different types of skin that you get through, different areas of skin on the body that you get through, and you just become, shall we say, more comfortable. So I won't say so much comfortable, but comfortable, and you're more than likely then become and get a pre-understanding of what you're going to come across when you see a client and where it's going. You know what I mean? Because necks and abdomens don't tattoo like forearms or calves or anything like that. You know what I mean? Or upper back. It's just everything's different.
And knowing what to, a big thing is knowing what to turn down. So if you're getting to that point, let's say where Jason's at, where he's really stepping out and he's like, all right, I want to take on some skin. I've let some people know that are willing that this is where I'm at. I'm learning, blah, blah, blah. But he's not, something I see people fall into occasionally is like the person wants their hand tattooed. The person wants their neck. People want these weird spots tattooed that are not really great for your first, foot in the water and tattooing skin. I mean, a foot is not the way to go. A hand is not the place to go. You really want to stick with some surfaces that are pretty reasonable, a leg, an arm, shoulder, top of the arm, forearm. I mean, if you're tattooing a person, don't let them sucker you into the neck, the stomach, the chest, to, inner arm can even be a bit tricky with the squishiness and the inability to get used to stretching that skin out and applying a little bit more pressure at times. Hands are tough. They don't heal the greatest at times. So you really got to make sure saturation's on point. So don't let a friend, a client, or somebody who understands your situation also pigeonhole you into doing locations that aren't great for you. So be aware.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, did you see the Star Wars piece that Danik did?
That was the black and red one.
Yeah. I thought he did a pretty good job.
It was shit. He deserves every part of that, does Danny?
Oh man.
No, it was cool. Yeah. It was cool. I think he did it in two sittings. And obviously, by the time he finished the second sitting and that, it was well saturated. The black played off against the red, which black and red always play off against each other well. Anyway.
If they're saturated well, and if I'm remembering, they looked well saturated. They looked well saturated. But nice job, Danik. I thought that was a solid looking tattoo. Hopefully, my memory is not, faded and and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it a couple times and thought, wow, that's really good.
Like you say, it wasn't bad for somebody that just does one tattoo a year. Like, you know what I mean?
He had to get his annual tattoo in, you know.
Yeah, it's like having your annual on your car or something like that. You know what I mean? Danet's got to have his annual on his tattooing, so he just does one a year.
Yeah, he's got to be part of the crew here, so he's got to at least submit a, you know.
Yeah, just to say that he does tattoo. He'll do one every 12 months just to say he does tattoo. That's all it is.
But I do bet it was a pain to tattoo sideways. It does make it a little better when you have the ability to tattoo someone else's skin when you're not sideways or whatever. But it also good training because you can't really move that. It's in that spot. You can't flip it around. You can't move around it. So you have to work with what you got. He's averaging one tattoo every 2 months.
Yeah, well, I think he might be another case of tattoo gate then. You know what I mean? He must be charging that much for his tattoos that he has to do one every 2 months. He does 16 consultations. Robs them, does 16 consultations. Robs them for about $4,000 for every consultation. Then he only follows through and does one tattoo every month. He's another tattoo gate.
That's funny.
But, like I say,
apparently that's a business, you know, but luckily they've been called out on that.
Yeah.
And they did get their tattoo done. I heard Matt Vaughn did the tattoo, the wolf tattoo for that lady.
Right.
Turned out nice. So at least the tattoo gate is in the bag. We're done with that. Yeah. But we'll see. We haven't had any serious tattoo drama in a long time, so that was interesting. I hate drama, but personally.
No. It's even like us. I mean, it's and it's like I said, it's been quite chill in shop actually.
Yeah.
You know, quite laid back, decent pieces, some slightly larger pieces been coming through, ongoing projects, along with smaller stuff. I just sort of like fallen off photographing in a bit, if you understand what I mean, Dave. You know, porcelain. Because some stuff just got fits and starts.
I did do one Saturday. I don't tattoo on Sundays, and I also don't post tattoos on Sunday. That's a dud.
Yeah.
So I got to do this really fun Mayan. It's like a Mayan calendar, but it's like the eagle head with the Mayan calendar. You've probably seen it. They've been done different ways and whatnot. So that was a fun one I got to do on Saturday. So I'll probably post that up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I don't really have anything exciting coming up. Like if they're not fun to me, if I don't really go, hey, that's cool, I like that, then I won't really even post it, to be fair. And I know that throws some clients off. Like, did he hate it? No, if I'm not in love with it, or if it's not something that I feel like, man, I want to do more of this, then I won't post it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, what were weird? I think most fun that I'd had. I think the most fun tattoo that I've had lately, I did the other day, and it was for it was for a young lady. She'd lost her brother, and she'd been to, you say 8 or 9 different tattoo artists.
Oh wow!
As well as message loads more about, and she had this thing in her mind of what she wanted.
Yeah.
And they were like, don't want to do it, can't be done, I can't come up with it, or they just straight ghosted her or anything. And I just says to her, come down, have a word with you. And it was that one, did you see? And basically what it was, when they were younger and everything, or when they were leaving, you know, away from each other, they said bye, one would just like blow a kiss to the other one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that one, and she went, I want something along that. And I said, well, what about it? It was just that one, I did other thing. It was just like a woman's hand with love hearts, as if they were coming out, 2 blokes and, you know, catching it. And
oh yeah, I like that tattoo. Yeah, I remember it now.
She's got everything she's got on, she's got a few tattoos on, and everything's in black and grey. You know what I mean? And I managed to talk her into having some colour in it.
Yeah.
And she was so ecstatic, you know, when she left, that she got what she wanted. She even sent me a message when I sent it. She says it was way better than I even imagined or expected of it. Which that, and it was a fun one to do. She was such a nice person. It was a fun one to do. And that, and yeah, you know, it don't have to. It didn't, but it was nothing complicated, Dave. But it was just such a nice one to do. Well, chill, enjoyed it, and it was just something a little bit different. But so many people have said it can't be done to her. Don't want to do it. Can't be done. You know what I mean? This, that, and other. And it just for the sake of a little bit of an effort and a bit of an input.
That's what sometimes it's they don't want to do it, you know. And at the same time, I get it, but it's always nice when you get a client and you're able to make that client happy, give them something that they want. Now you have a client for life. And I don't know about you, Andy, but a lot of my business is repeat clients. Like, that's it. Like, just repeat clients after repeat clients. And when you get enough of them, they might be gone for 4, 5, 6 months, but it's just a cycle where they're just, you know, and I'm sure this is the way it is. But yeah, definitely try to treat your clients well.
A lot of ours are repeat clients even to the point now, Dave, and I've said it before. I've got clients that'll come in. I'll be sat behind reception, you know, doing a drawing roll. They'll come into the shop, they'll shout "aye," and wife will be on reception, I'll be at back of reception, you know, doing whatever I'm doing and that. They'll shout "aye," they'll walk straight past us, they'll walk into the kitchen and that, they'll go put kettle on themselves, you know, ask us if we want a drink. You know, they'll make a drink and then bring us one out. And then when they're done, they even go do their own washing up.
That's you know what I mean? That's great.
That's when you know that they feel at home and they feel, you know, chilled out or whatever, that they do that. But yeah, generally we've got loads. Yeah, they'll come in and they'll just walk straight past you and go put kettle on themselves, you know, and make you a drink. And it's like, yeah, bonus. I know I've cracked it when it's like that.
Man. That's it, man. When you get that those clients, man, it's nice. And they come in various forms, obviously, but try to hold on to the good ones. But we'd be nothing without them. But
no, you're not right, Danny. Nobody actually put Instagram. It's right. That was my post.
Yeah. Anyone saw the pop artist known as Pink?
I know, but then it went. It should have had Floyd after it, and then it'd have been all right. Otherwise, it's shit. That's what I'd put something like that on one of the messages that he'd sent.
Yeah, you know, the other thing, and I know some people aren't maybe working with clients on the regular, but for me, like, I haven't gotten a lot of tattoos in other places recently in a long time, to be fair. So, but I would like to, when I get to Texas, you know, be around more tattoo artists out there. But I relate things to freaking dentists because I've been various dentists and stuff trying to get things done. And my dentist is not the cheapest dentist, but you know what? There's a feeling in that place, you know, like they're nice. They treat you well. They talk to you. There's some of these dentists, I don't even know what they're saying, you know, and they're just like yada, yada, yada. So I kind of glean a little bit from different things that I find myself in. It's like, you know what? And when it comes to tattooing in any business, I think like, yeah, you need to try to do your best to provide a good service, a good work, and there's a good tattoo, but even more so an experience. And it could be tricky to do, but that's what I would like to do more of, you know? And so I'm gleaning from that and trying to provide a little bit more of that enjoyable experience, a comfortable experience. You know what I mean? Where they're like, you know what, I want to go back there. It felt good. We had good conversation, listened to some good music, good people. That's the shop I want to be in, and that's the kind of shop people like to be in. You know, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like when they're coming to us, we try to give them the best experience we can, be as chilled out as we can, be as friendly and homely as we can. I mean, they're constantly asked if they want to drink, and we have teas, coffees, we have hot chocolates, we have bottled water for them, we have juice, pop, everything, you know what I mean? And it's just like, and it's all free. It's all provided in with service. You know what I mean? It's not like they're having to pay for it at all. It's all provided in with service, and we just like to keep them that way, you know, chilled out and everything.
Yeah. It's water, coffee, or Sprite here.
But
chocolate, man. Look at you, man.
Yeah, well water, yeah. But yeah, and that's just. And just like I said, just to keep it as friendly and as chilled out and as laid back, because then they're happy, and when they're happy, they're chilled out and they sit better. You know what I mean? Because they're feeling comfortable, and everything. It's great. It's so much of an easy. And the other thing I don't do is I don't line clients up back to back. No chance. I don't work under pressure. I don't work under massive time constraints. If I've got let's say I'm looking at a tattoo and I think 4 hours, I'll either only put that one in for the day and then rely on any walk-ins, you know, so if it happens to run over, they want a couple more breaks or whatever, that's fine. And then rely on walk-ins in afternoon, or maybe if I think, it's like 2.5 hours, I'll allow 4 hours before I put next one in, you know, behind it. And that's got a good, you know, I've got a good, shall we say, buffer zone in between tattoos, and I also get a bit of downtime as well.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I do not like to, very similar to that, and maybe I've spoiled myself in that regard. Hi, Bree. But I also don't like to be restrained time-wise. So usually I only do, usually I do a lot of larger tattoos, so I kind of book the day out. But if it's smaller stuff, I give myself a little time in between, more time than I need, because sometimes tattoos shorter, sometimes it takes longer. But the last thing I do not like is a client coming in while I'm still working on another client. I like everything to be cleaned up, ready to go. Is that a perfect world? Maybe, you know, is that for everybody? Can that happen all the time? Probably not, but that's the way I make it happen for me. Give myself time in between tattoos. So if something I think is going to take me, I'm like, it's probably going to take me 3 hours. I'll book the next tattoo 4 hours out, you know, so give myself that hour buffer time, get things set up or whatnot. At least want the other person leaving before another person's coming in. But just to give that client like 100% of my time before the next client shows up. I give them 100% of my time or attention, if you will. But
yeah.
Well, Andy, we've been coming up on 3 hours here.
Yeah.
If anybody's got any last minute question, we'll answer them. But if not, we're going to bring you jumping off here in about 2 minutes. We'll hit that 3 hour mark solidly and be out.
And like I said, should be over on mine on Thursday. I'll start to get something sorted for what I'm going to do over there. And like I said, anybody that's floating around over there, because Dave's going to be indisposed. Might even, shall we say, anybody that wants to come on mine for 20 minutes, half an hour or whatever, boom. Here we go. You come and have a go. Let's put your ugly mugs on camera. Let's see how you guys do on camera. But what's Andy's channel? It's the_tattoo_studio. Not like some fuck, you know.
Oh, what happened, Andy? Let it out. Get it out.
Yeah, set my channel up. My channel been going, ages. I get some message this week. somebody's tagged you in a post on their channel. You know what I mean? So I opens it up. There's only, shall we say, somebody set up 3 weeks ago another channel on YouTube, and I'm sure it's _Tattoo_studio in capitals, in all capital letters.
Oh. Well, what the heck?
I'm sure it is, because it come up and I'm like, and I just can't work it out, and I'm like, yeah, cheeky bastard. You know what I mean?
Coming hijacking your tattoo channel name, damn near.
Yeah, and it was like, but then they'd put something in one of their posts to tag theirs, but not put it all in capitals, so it said that they tagged mine.
Dang. Well. That's interesting. That's interesting.
But
it's a good name too, the tattoo studio. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but hey, is what it is. No can do about it. No, it's one of them. I think they've only got about 4 videos on theirs.
Hopefully, they blow up and people mistake it and just keep subscribing to your channel. You know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, this is the guy. Subscribe."
Yeah,
blow up. But anyhow.
But like I say,
when is the next stream over on your channel on this Thursday, right, Andy?
Thursday. Yeah,
and then Thursday. We should be on for the next Sunday as well here on the channel. And we'll probably, unless something changed, we'll be doing what we did tonight. Similar, if you have a tattoo you want to send in that was done elsewhere and you got a story to go with it, that'd be awesome to hear from you and see that. If you want to show a photo of yourself and say hello to us and say hello to everybody else, that'd be awesome. And then if you're going to submit work for a tattoo critique next Sunday, we need you to send in the reference as well. You won't be there Thursday, Dave. Yes. Yeah, I did let him know that. I won't be there on Thursday. And he might have a guest. One of the subscribers might jump in with him.
He did say, Alicia, he says he wouldn't be there on Thursday because he's taking you out for steak and lobster. That was what he actually told us, Alicia. He said, I can't actually be on Thursday. He says, because I promised Alicia I will finally cough up on the debt that I owe of paying the steak and lobster. So he says, fine, that is no problem. She has been waiting for 4 years for steak and lobster.
4 years.
So it's a valid excuse.
That's funny. That's funny. Danik has a way of resolving the issue. If you just change your tattoo channel, the Old Fart Studio, you're good. That's actually funny, dude. Maybe in a few years, Andy.
Yeah.
I don't think Andy's that old yet.
Don't know. I don't know.
Oh, shoot.
Look at that. You know it's even funny when about steak and lobster and not paying your debts when your own wife's laughing at you, Dave. You know.
Oh yeah, she gets a kick out of it.
Yeah.
I just get kicked. So, nonetheless, guys, thank you for an enjoyable time. It was great to see you guys again, and Andy will see you guys on Thursday. I will see you guys on Sunday. Don't forget to send in those references if you want us to check it out.
And Dave we'll see you guys on Sunday, and Dave will bring along photographic evidence that he did pay his debt of steak and lobster.
I've been having issues with my phone, but camera issues and stuff. We'll see what happens, though. See what happens. See what I can doctor up. But all right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you next time.
See you later.